The last time these two Central Division foes met, two men found their rhythm early, and a holiday battle ensued. Every kid who plays this game wants to be like Mike. And on this night, Atlanta's Christian Laettner emulated his airness, scoring a career-high 37 points. But the Bulls had Michael, and he lit up the scoreboard with 34 points of his own. Tonight, the Hawks have a 20-game home win streak on the line, so the challenge has been set. You can be assured the Bulls have that last trip to the Omni foremost on their minds. In their eyes, the outcome will be different tonight. There's a happening in Atlanta, Georgia, and the hottest ticket for an Atlanta Hawk game in nearly a decade. A sellout at the Omni because Michael Jordan and the champion Bulls are in town. The Chicago Bulls take on the red-hot Atlanta Hawks. And good evening, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton, along with Hubie Brown and Craig Sager. The Hawks have won 20 in a row here at the Omni. They've lost only one game, the first they played this year. And after practice today, Michael Jordan, whose Bulls lost December 26th to these Hawks, said, "Is this one of those games you circle on your schedule?" He winked. So, Hubie, I have a feeling that the Bulls have the Atlanta Hawks in their crosshairs tonight.
Well, Dick, anytime you talk about the Bulls, they lead the league on the road, 21-5. When you look at the Bulls again, you say the last time in, they lost by 5 points. Luc Longley and Toni Kukoč did not play. Tonight, the top 8 rotation, everyone is healthy. Now, let's examine their offense. First in the league in scoring. First in fewest turnovers, only 13 a game. They're second in field goal percentage. And then, anytime they miss, they're right at the top of the league in offensive rebounding, 15 a game. They will definitely give a test to the Atlanta defense.
And, of course, two guys, Toni Kukoč and Luc Longley, did not play in the last meeting, won by the Atlanta Hawks. More about that. What about the Hawks? They've won 16 out of 20, playing terrific basketball, made the playoffs last year, yet they have made some major changes this season.
I think you have to say, Dick, there's 6 new people here, and they all get major playing time. This is a team, 5 players average double figures. Their main 3 offensive scorers, Laettner, Smith, and Blaylock, all average 18 and 19 points a game. But when they are in rhythm, they have an outstanding 3-point game. They're number 1 in 3-point attempts at 22 a game. They shoot a high percentage. But then as you step back, they get to the foul line along with it. Dynamite post up with Laettner and Smith. And then in the top 5 categories defensively, they should test them tonight.
Hubie, let's go back to the last game won by the Hawks. Why did the Hawks beat the Bulls on that particular night?
Well, I think you have to say great defense, but then Christian Laettner. We're talking 37 points, 14 rebounds. He gets to the foul line 12 times. He's 12 for 12. But then 23 shot attempts. So the young man came out, and I honestly believe it lit his name up for all of the coaches in the Eastern Conference, and they put him in that All-Star game.
All right, as everybody knows, today is Valentine's Day, and so a special greeting on this Valentine's Day from the center of the Atlanta Hawks, Dikembe Mutombo, for you.
No, not in the Mutombo house.
Well, just a 5-minute drive from the Omni, where the Bulls and Hawks are ready to run. We bid you a good evening and a happy Valentine's Day from our Atlanta studio. Ernie Johnson along with Cheryl Miller, and the trade deadline is next Thursday, and we've already got a little action tonight. Slowly but surely, the Triple J Ranch in Dallas is being foreclosed. Once upon a time, Jason Kidd, Jamal Mashburn, and Jim Jackson represented the Mavs' future. Now, 2 of them are history. Kidd was dealt to Phoenix in December, and today Jamal Mashburn was sent to Miami in a 3-for-1 deal. Mashburn has scored about 11 points a game this year, half his career average. Miami gives up Sasha Danilovic, made expendable by Vashawn Leonard's emergence. Kurt Thomas out with an ankle injury, returning to his Dallas home. And Martin Murseth, a rookie who's played 27 minutes. Here is new Mavs GM Don Nelson.
As far as Jamal goes, it's, you know, I think it's just time for a change for Jamal. We wish him the best. I think he's a very fine player. He just didn't seem to be playing up to his best here. And I certainly hope that changes and he becomes the player that he was or wants to be.
Good move for Pat Riley.
Oh, it's a great move for Pat Riley. Just remember, it was only last season when everyone was wondering what the Miami Heat would do with Tim Hardaway. It seemed like this guy's game was going downhill. Obviously, that is not the case this season because Timmy Hardaway has been sensational. I think the same thing can happen for Jamal Mashburn. Here was a guy last season, only played in 18 games due to a lot of injuries, but still managed to average around 23 points. If there is anyone that can rejuvenate this kid's game, it is definitely Pat Riley.
So Miami gets a little firepower, and Jamal's going to learn that
huge
Pat likes to play defense, too.
Yes.
Cheryl and I are going to be back at halftime, but straight ahead, a showdown at the Omni. Michael and the Bulls are going to try to put an end to the Hawks' 20-game home winning streak. In Atlanta, they are getting ready to Mutombo. Bulls and Hawks next. Enjoy it, folks.
Crowd looking for the 21st straight home win here at the Omni, and here are the starting lineups in the Chicago Bulls and an 11th hour change. Toni Kukoč is starting in place of Dennis Rodman at forward, Pippen and Longley up front, and it's Ron Harper and, of course, Michael Jordan in the backcourt. For the Atlanta Hawks, Mookie Blaylock and Steve Smith are the guards. Tyrone Corbin and Christian Laettner surround Dikembe Mutombo for the Hawks. Right now, let's send it over to Craig Sager.
The Bulls have sold out every game since Michael's return, 177 of them home and away, but this is probably the toughest ticket of all. That's because the annual Super Show is taking place just outside the door. It is the world's largest sporting goods show. More than 104,000 people attending, most of whom were expecting a ticket for tonight's game. The Super Show is not open to the general public, only those involved in the sports products trade. And among the crowd here, the sellout crowd, over 200 celebrities. Let's see, there's John Elway, Warren Moon, Marcus Allen. They're all there in one booth. David Justice. It's a who's who of the sports world, and they're all right here among the sellout crowd. Back to you, Dick.
All right, Craig, and you know you're amongst the who's who as well when we get down to the S's. The officials tonight are Ron Garretson, Bob Delaney, and Scott Wall. Bulls coming off a win Tuesday against Charlotte at home, in which Michael Jordan won it with a three-pointer at the buzzer, and the Hawks defeated Toronto on Wednesday 106-84, a big game for Mutombo. So we're underway. The tip controlled by the Hawks. This is the third meeting between these teams. They're 1-1.
I think Atlanta has got to look at their power game right away and test Kukoč on Laettner.
Blaylock hits a three to start it off. Mookie Blaylock at 39%. A solid start for the Hawks.
During the course of the night, he averages 8 three-point attempts, whether he gets it off the dribble or it comes out of the post-ups.
Kukoč fires away. He was left untouched. Last touch by Mutombo, so it is still Bulls ball.
Now, by starting Kukoč at the power forward position over Rodman, what they're saying is they would like Laettner to get away from the boards, take him outside, off the dribble, see if they get him in foul trouble.
And a good play by Blaylock on the steal. Getting back quickly is Jordan.
The Hawks are a very sound defensive team in the top 5 in all defensive categories. They're excellent in playing the passing lanes.
And Blaylock himself is 5th in the NBA in steals coming into this one. Laettner now double teamed with 6 on the clock, misses the turnaround, and Jordan gets position for the rebound.
You know, Dick, you hate to see a 6'11" guy throw a fadeaway jump shot when he has a 5-inch height advantage.
Harper finds Longley down low, and Pippen tips it in. Scottie Pippen, who's averaging 19 points a game and had 20 against the Hawks in their loss here in late December. Now Laettner with the ball and Kukoč guarding him. Here is Smith. Jordan running at him as Smith misses the jumper and Pippen cleared.
That was interesting because when Jordan contested, he took off for the other end of the floor.
Pippen just inside the arc. Scores for the Bulls, who have a 4-3 lead in the early going. So Scottie Pippen has all 4 Chicago points.
Well, that's a good matchup. Ty Corbin on Pippen. He's got to start paying a little bit more attention.
And they're going to call Mutombo for an illegal block. And the first foul on Dikembe. And, of course, Lenny Wilkins wants his big man to avoid foul trouble.
When the Hawks are on offense, they have a good power game, excellent three-point shooting, but watch the back screening. We'll try to show that to you this evening.
Atlanta Hawks, who have won 16 of their last 20 games, trying to protect what has been a great home court streak for them. Michael Jordan with his first basket. And it's now 6-3 as Pippen and Jordan have accounted for all 6 Bulls points. Here's Blaylock, who hit a 3 to start the game, throws this one up wildly, and here is Pippen running the floor.
Nice.
Good pass back from Harper to Kukoč, and credit Ron Harper for that extra pass.
Well, you see, when you have Kukoč in the lineup, you have 4 guys running the floor. Laettner is running back looking for a post-up guy, and Kukoč is staying wide. That will be there, Dick, in transition.
2.5 minutes have gone by. It's 8-3. The Bulls off to a 5-point lead. Here's Laettner and Kukoč. One-on-one, has it knocked away by Toni into the hands of Pippen. And here is Scottie Pippen, a 3-on-2, but the Hawks get back. Kukoč. And now Pippen will set it up with plenty of time on the clock. Jordan is picked up by Smith, goes down the lane, flips to Longley with a great feed, and it was deflected inside by Mutombo. Here is Steve Smith at the other end, and that's knocked away by Pippen. Last touch by the Hawks, and it'll be Chicago ball.
Not a very popular call. That time Smith took that rather soft. They had a 2-on-1, Dick. All he had to do was fake the shot and lay it off, and they had an uncontested layup.
Bulls have run off 8 in a row since the opening 3-pointer by Blaylock. Here is Longley left uncovered, and Luc Longley takes the shot. Longley, who is out for 23 games with a separated shoulder, as we mentioned, did not play in that December matchup here at the Omni. Robert Parish played his most minutes of the year in that game. Steve Smith inside the arc hits a jumper. He's been struggling lately offensively.
He's only shooting 40% for the season, but right now, if I'm Chicago, I'm happy we're keeping Atlanta perimeter.
Oh, yes, one for the real. Michael Jordan high off the glass, his second basket of the game, and it's 12-5, and I guess you're right. The Bulls have to be happy with the action in the early going. Smith driving around Kukoč, gets the foul, but not the basket.
I would like to show you this last play. As Jordan comes to the hoop, you can see how far he glides. He takes off outside of the painted area, glides underneath the hoop. Most of the players in this league would come down, and then he just has that easy release and gives you backspin on the ball.
Scottie Pippen committing the personal foul, sending Steve Smith, 81% free throw shooter, to the line.
Smith, as well as Laettner, are excellent post-up people. When they get fouled, they're 80% foul shooters. In the early going, though, they're not taking it to the rim, and that's what Laettner must do. You've got to take Kukoč down inside, get him in foul trouble, and overpower.
And it's been proven for those few teams who have beaten the Bulls that you've got to play the power game at least to start if you have a chance.
Oh, absolutely. You cannot allow them to play you man-to-man to take away your perimeter game.
Jordan double team for the moment, and then Laettner gets a piece of that jump shot into the hands of Blaylock. This crowd is alive here, as they well should be. A sellout crowd, and they haven't sold out that many for the improving Hawks. Mutombo fighting his way to beat Longley, and that's the kind of Hawk ball you're talking about.
Absolutely. See, they have people here who can post up. When you say Mutombo, most of all Laettner and Smith, you have 3 guys that you can go to that they must honor. Now, at the defensive end of the floor, the Hawks have been doing a good job in double-teaming Michael. Now, they double-teamed them, they prevented them, but Laettner came in and gets the shot blocks. At this end, look at the big fella go. Lenny Wilkins has resurrected the offensive game of Mutombo.
Repeat after me. It's a whole new Hyundai. It's a whole new Hyundai. It's a whole new Hyundai. Okay, pop quiz. The brand new 97 sedan that's roomier than Camry is achingly beautiful and has a warranty that would be your basic mother of all reliability statements. Yes, that would be the Hyundai Sonata. And right now, you can lease a Sonata for just $199 a month. Oh, yeah, you heard me right. A Sonata for just $199 a month. So there's just one more thing. It's called a test drive. So get in the car now.
Tuesday night, NBA on TNT. Stockton and Malone. Watch Utah's unstoppable duo team up against San Antonio. Spurs, Jazz, Tuesday night at 8. The NBA's on TNT. Don't miss a game.
I started out playing piano and somehow wound up here, high above Madison Square Garden. I watch the action and I try to anticipate, because once the moment's gone, it's gone for good. I think basketball is a very musical game. There's a certain flow to it, so it's a perfect match of 2 of my passions. And maybe it's not what my piano teacher had in mind, but I'm lucky enough to have a great view of a great game, and I just can't think of anything else I'd rather be doing than that.
Hey, Betty, I think Bam Bam's trying to tell us something.
Maybe he wants Cartoon Network.
If you still don't have Cartoon Network, just call your cable operator and ask for the network that plays nothing but cartoons.
Subtle.
Cartoon Network. Call your cable operator today.
All right, Michael Jordan is right here with the basketball. You're going to see Luc Longley set a screen. As Jordan comes over the top, the Hawks have been double-teaming him. Mutombo is stepping out, and his defender is trapping him. But watch Luc Longley step back and open himself up at the top of the circle. Now, you have to double-team Michael. They'll step back, and they will have this shot all night long if Luc Longley wants it.
And as Wennington comes in, he also gets the same kind of shot. There you see Chicago 6 of 10, Atlanta 3 of 6, but you see the Bulls have 4 more shot attempts than the Atlanta Hawks. Corbin was on Jordan that time, and missing the three-point attempt was Ron Harper. And so here come the Atlanta Hawks, who are trailing by 3, 12-9. They scored the first 3 points of the game, and the Bulls have led since. Mutombo setting a screen for Blaylock on the pick and roll, deflected by Harper, and he can't save it. It's last touch by the Bulls.
Now, that was just a sloppy pass by Blaylock. Anytime that you come off the screen and roll, always dribble 2 dribbles, because it forces the defense to open up, and it creates an easier passing lane.
All 5 Atlanta Hawks starters average double figures, as Hubie mentioned, with Laettner, Blaylock, and Smith nearly 19, and a layup is followed up by Dikembe Mutombo, and now the Hawks are making an exclamation point with their power game.
Now, that's the second time that Smith has broken into the paint and thrown up a soft shot.
Ball deflected from Longley into the hands of Smith, and Corbin wasn't ready for it, and so Pippen gets possession on a 3-on-1, and Scottie lays it in. Corbin was not facing the pass, and so the Hawks lost an opportunity.
You always tell guys, do not run in the outside lanes on the fast break without seeing the basketball. That's your job. But you tell a guy with the ball, never pass the ball to a guy who has his back to you.
Best to tell them both.
Yeah, right.
Smith is guarded by Jordan, and Smith now picked up by Kukoč on the switch. And in the corner, the open man is Blaylock, who hits his second 3 of the game, and the Atlanta Hawks have tied it at 14.
Remember what you tell you now. Mookie Blaylock attempts 8 threes a game, and he's shooting right at 40%.
And he, of course, has made the most three-point baskets, 135 for the Hawks this year. And there is that open jumper that you showed us before on the chalkboard. Luc Longley again open for the jumper.
Yeah, that time they ran their power game. They sent the 2 guards through, and that's going to open up all night because they're trapping Mike.
Blaylock trying to use Mutombo, who now is posting up against Longley. Goes to the hoop. Lost control, and a foul is called.
See, I like that, because Luc Longley has very poor lateral movement. And anytime that you put it on the floor and can keep your dribble, now just watch Mutombo, he knows that if he puts it down and keeps his dribble, he'll get by Longley. If not, force him to foul.
Mutombo, 71% free throw shooter. He is a 5th rebounder in the league, averaging 12. He had 22 points and 11 rebounds in the victory over Toronto on Wednesday, and a tremendous acquisition for the Hawks from Denver as a free agent pickup.
Well, anytime that you can pick up a guy who's 2nd in the league in shot blocking, and he's 5th in the league in rebounding, and you know that he has an offensive game. It's been dormant since his first 2 years in the league. Comes here averaging 13 points a game, and he's great on the offensive board.
1 out of 2 for Mutombo. Kukoč has it deflected by Mutombo, who got a piece of that one. So even if he doesn't outright block a shot, he is a presence inside. Jordan on Smith. 5:13 to go in the first quarter. A forced ball away by Smith. He had Jordan in his face. Not a wise shot. But here is Harper going right by Corbin to put it in. And that would have been a wise foul for Corbin to make.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely, Dick. And you know what I'm telling you? What? We should move you over closer to Lenny. I'm telling you. Now, Lenny is upset. Mainly because anytime that there is a miss, they're getting beat 3-on-1, 4-on-2 in transition.
18-15, the Bulls are leading. Again, here is Smith working against Jordan. He's trying a little bit too hard with Michael defending, and that's the 5th turnover by the Hawks here in the first quarter. That's a bit too many if you're going to contend against the world champions.
Well, they are going to get away with a lot of bumping, Dick, and that's why it's called duress. You cannot go in there soft.
Toni Kukoč with a 2-point basket had his foot on the line, and Kukoč has 4 points. Started the game for Dennis Rodman. Blaylock very nearly lost that pass. Hawks ball handling is not very good at the moment.
No, it isn't. They're a little ragged. They're trying to make the sensational play.
Laettner with a turnaround. That was a tough basket over Kukoč. But Christian Laettner with his first points of the game. Remember, he had 37, the career high in the last meeting, and this was an alley-oop from Kukoč to Scottie Pippen, who has 8.
Anytime that you have Pippen and he's running a backdoor, Ty Corbin must have contact with his forearm. Otherwise, he's going to elevate. That was beautiful eye contact. Kukoč to Pippen.
Here is Laettner working against Toni Kukoč. Remember, they went with Kukoč instead of Rodman, and Kukoč commits the foul, and Laettner gets the basket as well.
Now, Dick, they're trying to play Christian Laettner one-on-one. You can't play him one-on-one down inside. Now, what they're saying is that you are going to have to establish a game. Now, here's your eye contact. Look to the right of your screen. You see as Pippen move, you've got to catch him with a forearm. Now, this is just an excellent power move by Christian Laettner. They are going to force the Bulls to double team. Up until now, we're not seeing double teaming when the guy catches the ball in the post.
Christian Laettner concludes the 3-point play, and the Bulls lead is cut to 2, 22-20, with under 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Dick Stockton, along with Hubie Brown and Craig Sager, here at the Omni in Atlanta. Third meeting of the year between these teams. They're all even at 1-1. And there is Longley with a great feed on the screen and roll from Michael Jordan.
Now, once again, we showed you the telestrator. Anytime that they screen and roll, Longley can roll to the basket or spot up. He's wide open.
And Michael Jordan with 3 assists. Each in a lot of ways as Kukoč knocked it from Laettner, who lays it in anyway. Christian Laettner now getting started late, has 7 points to lead the Hawks scorers.
Look out.
Here's Harper in the open floor, and there is Kukoč left wide open. He will never be more wide open than he was there. The Hawks coming back. 2 behind the Bulls. Mutombo with a fake against Longley ties the score at 24.
Mutombo has great hands, Dick. He's a terrific rebounder, and anytime that you penetrate and he moves, he can catch it, and if you notice, he dunks with both hands.
So Laettner and Mutombo each with 7 points in the early going. Longley misses. Kukoč follows, gets the basket and the foul as well. So Toni Kukoč will go to the line for a chance for a 3-point play, and we'll have a timeout with 2:12 remaining in the first quarter as Kukoč gets his chance for a 3-point when we come back.
Now, if you notice, this is one of the very few offensive rebounds for the Chicago Bulls.
Repeat after me. It's a whole new Hyundai. It's a whole new Hyundai. It's a whole new Hyundai. Okay, pop quiz. The brand new 97 sedan that's roomier than Camry's, achingly beautiful, and has a warranty that would be your basic mother of all reliability statements? Yes, that would be the Hyundai Sonata. And right now, you can lease a Sonata for just $199 a month. Oh yeah, you heard me right. A Sonata for just $199 a month. So there's just one more thing. It's called a test drive. So get in the car now.
Do you need quality transportation but can't get a car loan because of credit problems? Hinkle Chrysler Jeep can help. Bad credit, slow credit, no credit is no problem at Hinkle Chrysler Jeep. Just call Bill Tyrion, Mr. T, for fast and easy credit approval, regardless of your past credit. Call 968-6007. Hinkle has a program for you and a car to fit your budget. Let Mr. T get you back on track today. Hinkle Chrysler Jeep and Used Cars, Dickman Road, Battle Creek, 968-6007. Call now.
In times of need, all across the land, we're your friends and neighbors who lend a helping hand. When we were needed, we were there. Americans at their best. When we're needed, we'll be there.
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
John McEnroe in attendance, and the Bulls serving up a 26-24 lead with 2:12 to go. I want to remind you, next Tuesday on TNT, San Antonio at Utah. Wednesday on TBS, Portland at Orlando. Hubie and I will be in Washington as Chicago comes back. The Bulls against Washington next Friday on TNT at 8.
Now, we'd like to show you the famous triangle. Now, Scottie Pippen has the ball here. The ball is going to go into Michael Jordan. The man in the corner is going to clear, and then this man at the top, watch, he will replace Scottie Pippen going. But the key guy is the man right here as he opens up. Keep an eye on Scottie Pippen. As the ball goes in, you'll see they clear out the base. Now watch Pippen get Luc Longley's man. There you go, Luc. All you had to do is move 2 steps and you're wide open for an uncontested J.
And Dennis Rodman, who's playing the first 11 games back from his 11-game suspension for charity, tonight playing for the March of Dimes in Chicago. The leading rebounder in the NBA, averaging nearly 16.5 boards a game, has come into the ball game now, replacing Luc Longley, and here is the pressure by the Bulls, full court version, and it works. Picked off by Pippen. Defense is what drives the engine of the Chicago Bulls, despite all of the exploits of Michael Jordan and company offensively.
I'll tell you, Laettner's doing a nice job on Kukoč outside.
Under 2 minutes to go in the first. Smith on Jordan with 6 on the shot clock. And Jordan with a long jumper off the glass. And there is Steve Smith down court, but Mookie Blaylock couldn't make the pass to him, and so the Bulls come back. That is the 7th turnover by the Hawks here in the opening quarter.
7 turnovers in, you're only down 3. That's a healthy sign.
Yes, it is. And because Atlanta is shooting 64% from the field and the Bulls just under 60%. Both teams shooting well.
That time, Rodman just took a cheap shot at Mutombo, and Mutombo told him, don't do that again with the finger.
Right. Because Dikembe has a trademark now. Don't come into my house.
They're playing Rodman on Mutombo, so that way they feel they don't have to double team.
And Mutombo at the buzzer forced up a one-hander, and you wonder if Mutombo wants to teach Rodman a lesson. So things should be interesting with the golden-haired Dennis Rodman in the game now. Under a minute to go, Michael Jordan left open. This is 2 in a row. Rodman is hit in the face. Ball out of bounds, and it's last touch by the Hawks.
I'd like to just show you something. Anytime, now hold it right there. Anytime that you take the ball out against the press, you never stay underneath the backboard because you can't lob the ball. And that's exactly what happens here. He had a bounce past that. Everyone was defended. Turnover.
Michael Jordan has scored only 4 points thus far, but you know he can explode. And the Bulls leading by 3 with 17 on the shot clock. And Ron Harper hits a 3. So Harper, coming in 37% from downtown, gives the Bulls a 6-point lead, just under their high of this game thus far. But Laettner beats Kukoč off the dribble again.
Laettner can do it all night long in the pivot. As long as he says thumbs up, I'm not going to settle for a fadeaway jump shot. I'm going to put it down, drop step, and do power moves. Take him to the rim.
Laettner 4 of 5 from the field in the first quarter. Scottie Pippen with a strong move. Lays it in, and Mutombo got hit in the face. So we are seeing some hard-edge play on both sides in the opening quarter. And now the Hawks playing for the last shot, down by 6.
Now, well, Pippen's eyes opened up and he saw Mutombo on him at the top of the circle.
Corbin firing a 3 off the mark. He's not the guy you want to shoot it from that range. And time will run out. And the Chicago Bulls will take a 32-26 lead after 1. And Scottie Pippen with 10 points. The only player in double figures.
As soon as he saw Mutombo on him, see, that's a smart offensive player. He's taking him right to the rim. And you can see the front line scoring. It's nice. It's spread out. Luc Longley has not had a play run for him. Everything is on a spot up.
Laettner with 9 leads the Atlanta Hawks.
Beautiful women, exotic locations, and me.
Watch Sports Illustrated Swimsuit 97, premiering February 22nd at 9 on TNT.
All right, ladies, take 5. Oh, ow, I think I pulled something.
Tomorrow night,
Friar Tuck in Maid Marian must save Robin's soul. What's the plan?
We'll do this the old-fashioned way.
Not the answer I was hoping for. Take aim with the new Adventures of Robin Hood. Tomorrow night at 7 on TNT.
Cozy, huh? What? Whoa. Bedroom?
No way.
Security. Close the transportation. Classic fixtures. Ooh, what do we have here?
Bud Light.
Go ahead. It's got your name on it. I'll get my own. Nice. Ah,
I'll take it. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
That was close. I was down on my last one.
Team is important, part of a team. Like a family, because, hey, you can't win unless you're part of a team. There you go, right there. Good. When I go out on the court, I give everything I have and I leave it out there. This is great. I mean, you have fun with your teammates. You hang out with your teammates. Yeah, we fuss and fight, but hey, we fight for each other on and off the court. We're family, yeah, but we're going to take care of business. It's not about one, it's about together. That's what team is all about. I want it to be real, you know what I'm saying?
When Dave Thomas created Wendy's Spicy Chicken Sandwich, he used a whole breast filet seasoned with his own blend of pepper and spices, but did he go too far?
Very spicy.
Wimp. It's perfect.
Depends on who you ask. Try Wendy's Spicy Chicken Sandwich. If you love the mouth-bending blast you get from a Butterfinger, but just want a little, now you can have it with Butterfinger BBs. Bite-sized bursts of crispity-crunchity Butterfinger that give you blast after blast. Have a Butterfinger Blast from Nestle.
And welcome back to downtown Atlanta. Super show, and more than 80,000 people have come into town, and hard tickets to come by, to say the least, here in the Omni. And after one quarter of play, the Chicago Bulls lead 32-26 as Chicago has outscored Atlanta 8-0 off of turnovers.
Well, you can see, Dick, the shooting, Chicago at 56%. Atlanta at 59. The difference naturally being Atlanta 7 turnovers, and also Atlanta helping themselves 2 for 4 in threes.
Steve Kerr, the three-point shooter who won the three-point shootout at the All-Star game, has come in along with Jason Caffey. So the Bulls going to their bench, as are the Atlanta Hawks, as Jon Barry, who got hot and was 5 for 5 against Toronto the other night, has come in 4 for 4 for threes, and you can see he still has the hot hand. Jon Barry, 38% from downtown, brings the Hawks to within 3.
Wow, Lenny likes his game. They stepped out of bounds over there on the side, Caffey, but Jon Barry has to come in and shoot the basketball. If he misses a few, he has to understand that his coach wants him to continue to shoot. Once he gets over that hang-up, everything will be fine. Barry has started eight games for them. They have a lot of confidence in him.
And his dad, Rick Barry, is amongst the celebrities in the crowd tonight. Christian Laettner, with a up and under against Caffey, draws the foul. And right now, Christian Laettner is a tough man for any of the Bulls to handle.
Well, I like to see what he's doing now. And I like what you call the up and under. Now, this is Barry. You can see on the release. That time, Mookie Blaylock moved the ball quickly up into that right-hand corner. You just love what Laettner did. He took his time, he checked the defense, he ran the up and under, and then he does it by the numbers. He does nothing in a hurry.
Kevin McHale, who of course was the GM of the Timberwolves who traded Laettner, said he's a volatile, moody guy, as a lot of players are. But consider this, he won 2 championships at Duke. He comes to Minnesota, wins 15 games. He was beaten up. He needed a change. Similar to what Don Nelson said about Mashburn today when he traded him to Miami, and the change has helped Laettner tremendously.
Look, he's the only guy to start in 4 straight Final Fours of the NCAA. Wooden Player of the Year.
Steve Kerr misses from in the lane, and the rebound by Mutombo. He has 5 off the board so far. Blaylock for 3. Laettner with the offensive rebound. No foul, and Ron Harper got all of that one. Great defensive play by the shorter Ron Harper underneath for the Bulls. Here is Caffey beating Harper, and Harper going in. It's deflected, and Mutombo got a piece of that one. And here comes Blaylock back, and we'll have a whistle as Rodman.
Yeah, Rodman and Mutombo again.
Rodman and Mutombo, and they're going to call this one on Mutombo. And both. They're going to call a double foul.
Now, Lenny Wilkins, they've got to...
double technical.
Let's see, this started back in the first quarter. We showed you after that one play, Mutombo went right at him. Now, this is the play before. Now, watch Rodman right here. So he's got both hands on him, and as he goes to change, he catches him with that left elbow. All right, now here's the play right here. They're tangled up, and you can see Rodman grabs him. Now they bump, and they're talking, and right away the referee, Bob Delaney, steps in front and says, you know what, enough of this.
Lenny Wilkins telling us today that Mutombo may be too nice, and he went to Denver, his former team, thought everyone would cheer him. They booed him. He didn't play well, so maybe he's got to get a little meaner. At least that's what Lenny Wilkins would like to see. Henry James has come in for the Hawks, and Michael Jordan back in for the Chicago Bulls. Mutombo with the second effort, and he is playing a strong game here in the first half.
Now, see, I like what Lenny's done. He's left Mutombo and Laettner and Mookie Blaylock in there against that second unit, forcing Chicago to bring Jordan back in the game.
And the Hawks regain the lead, 33-32. Jordan goes right around Barry and Laettner, Rodman, and a 3-second violation called against the Bulls.
Now, they could have had that any way they wanted. That was an offensive foul or 3 seconds. Now, here's a rebound right here. And there you have Mutombo. He went for the stuff, but he was too far away. But he is alive tonight. He's all over the boards.
9 points and 7 rebounds for Dikembe Mutombo, who leads the game right now. And there's the shooting. Both teams over 50%. Luc Longley has come back in the game for the Chicago Bulls. Jon Barry nowhere to go with it. Rodman picking up Laettner.
Nice.
4 on the shot clock, and Laettner hits. He did not get a good pass, but he steadied himself and hit. Laettner now with 13.
That was a great change in the air. An adjustment by Jon Barry. That was a beautiful pass, a difficult catch.
And Ivano Newbill, who has played well off the bench, has come into the game for the Hawks. And right now, let's go to Craig Sager for a report.
Well, I think a few moments ago, Scottie Pippen left the field, went back into the trainer's room. He's got his right arm taped. Apparently on that alley-oop on the dunk, he hit his arm on the rim and cut his arm. He will need stitches after the game, but right now they've just bandaged it up.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. Pippen scored 10 points to lead the Bulls in the first quarter. Meanwhile, the Hawks have run off 9 in a row to take a 3-point lead. Here's Michael Jordan missing. He's not been sharp from the field thus far in the game. Only 2 for 7 for Michael Jordan.
Well, they've been getting to him quick, Dick, and you know, they've been putting a lot of pressure on him. That's just a bad play.
Dickey Blaylock a little out of control, or maybe a lot out of control, and another Hawk turnover with 3 minutes gone by here in the second quarter.
You have to remember that the Chicago Bulls play the passing lanes probably better than any team in this league.
Luc Longley open. And there is Rodman trying to keep it alive. Newbill battling him. Newbill's done a good job, the former Georgia Tech player. Still playing his professional career here in Atlanta. Laettner guarded by Longley, and Laettner hits again from outside. So Laettner doing it inside and outside to the tune of 15 points.
Well, you can see why he had a big game the last time. And if you notice, the Atlanta Hawks are 29th in the league. That's last in assists. And as you look at their offense, you see a lot of one-on-one basketball.
The Hawks on an 11-0 run, thanks to Christian Laettner, who has hit 6 of 9 shots and leads the way with 15.
Spurs Jazz Tuesday night at 8. The NBA's on TNT.
What now?
You're using the wrong tool.
Ford F-Series with the world's only standard third door. And available new 5.4-liter Triton V8 for even more torque and horsepower.
Now you got all your holes dug, huh?
The new Ford F-Series, built for...
In times of need, all across the land, we're your friends and neighbors who lend a helping hand. When we were needed, we were there. Americans at their best. When we're needed, we'll be there.
Only on Stars and nowhere else.
Boy, I never
thought I'd be here.
For over 30 years, he taught his students to love music. But in the end,
Look around. We are your symphony, Mr. Hahn.
the life he changed the most
I got dragged into this gig kicking and screaming, and now it's the only thing I want to do.
was his own. Richard Dreyfuss, Mr. Holland's Opus. A movie that will touch you from TCI Choice Theaters.
Well, tune in to TNT for an original series, The New Adventures of Robin Hood, Monday nights after WCW, right here on TNT. And right now, let's go over to Craig Sager.
Well, thank you very much. Among the crowd here, Cheryl Swoops, once called the Michael Jordan of women's basketball, getting ready for your big WNBA this summer. You excited about the league?
Very excited. To finally have an opportunity to play professional basketball in the United States is a wonderful feeling.
What about being back in Texas with Houston?
I'm definitely excited about that, my home state, and I've always felt like Texas has the best fans in the world. So to be able to stay at home and play, I'm very, very thrilled about that.
Thanks a lot. Hubie always mentions 47 points in the final for Cheryl Swoops.
That's a pretty great game for Cheryl Swoops in the final, and Michael Jordan has had a few 47s or more in his career after making his first two missed 5, and now finally gets back. He has only 6 points right now. The Hawks lead by 3, 37-34. Steve Smith from downtown. Smith, and that is the 4th three-pointer for the Hawks in this first half.
Yeah, they just ran great back screens and then crossing underneath the basket. That was a beautiful move.
Steve Kerr misses a 3, but there's Longley on the offensive rebound and a lay-in by Michael Jordan.
You have to want tonight the defensive boards because they are allowing a ton of body contact.
4-point lead for the Atlanta Hawks, who are shooting just under 50% here in the second quarter from the field. Laettner trying to get it to Steve Smith. Jordan overplaying him. 4 on the shot clock, and Smith with a turnaround hits the shot. Gutty shot by Steve Smith, who has 9.
Now he earned that. I mean, he and Mike bumped, you know, but both guys were initiating the contact there.
6-point lead for the Hawks, who are on an 11-0 run for a while. Laettner trying to deny Longley, and Pippen lost the ball right into his hands. And here's Jon Barry. Here's Henry James. He can nail it from downtown, and this one off the mark, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by the Hawks.
Now, as this ball comes off, you can see people knocking around in here. When Longley goes up, he gets belted pretty good. That was just a good find by Chicago. And at this end, this is 2 people working very hard defensively, allowing the forearm contact. There's Big Luke.
Pick and roll, Luc Longley, and it's blocked by Mutombo, who just came into the game, replacing Christian Laettner. That is his 2nd block of the game, but he has been a presence in other plays.
Not only does he get this, but watch Newbill, as Newbill gets hit and falls down, Mutombo goes right over the top of Newbill to get that block.
Terrific block by Mutombo. Jordan nearly lost it and does lose it out of bounds, and credits Steve Smith for putting the clamps on it.
They're doing a great job on Michael. You know, nothing is easy for him tonight. Anytime that he puts the ball on the floor, they're running the guy at him, double teaming hard.
Chicago only 2 for 10 from the field in the second quarter. Atlanta over 50%. Hawks are playing a lot more poised game after a flurry of turnovers in the first quarter. Mutombo over Longley, and it drops for him. Mutombo now with 11 points. Laettner and Mutombo have 26 between them.
Mutombo could hit that hook. He could hit it when he was at Georgetown. That's always been there. But Lenny Wilkins has resurrected his offensive game in the low post.
Hawks with their biggest lead of the game right now, 8 points with under 6 minutes to play in the first half. They're playing a sparkling first half against the Bulls. Jordan short rims it, and Mutombo gets hit by Pippen. No foul. Pippen and Jordan and Longley on the follow gets the foul as the Chicago Bulls storm the offensive board.
Yeah, they're tough. We tell you they average 15 offensive boards. Now this is just a great move by Mutombo. See, that's the old-time hook, the sweeping hook. And he catches a nice because of the back screen. Now here you just have red shirts all over the glass. Luc Longley's presence is terrific. You're talking 7'2", 275 pounds.
8 points for Luc Longley, who's an excellent free throw shooter at 82%. And as we say that, he looks like he's a 50% shooter, but he misses the free throw, and the Hawks lead by 6 with 5.5 to play in the second.
Ivano Newbill out of Georgia Tech has been a terrific find for the Hawks. He's done an excellent job filling in for Alan Henderson at the power forward position.
And there is Henry James, an interesting story in his own right. He's played for 5 teams previously. He is 31 years old, came from the CBA in December. Michael Jordan comes back for 3, and so that is Jordan's first and the Bulls' second from downtown.
Well, see, James was happy because he scored at one end. At the other end, they just switched, and unfortunately, he did not switch and step out on Michael Jordan.
Meanwhile, Jordan with 11 now leads the Bulls' scorers. And the Hawks up by 6. Steve Smith misses from downtown. The Hawks don't want to get in the habit of too much shooting from the perimeter, although that's where they have been effective this year. Let's take a closer look at a great find, Henry James.
Now you're going to see he just loves to launch. Anytime that he's getting minutes, he attempts 4 a game, but he's rather one-dimensional. He's not going to rebound for you, not going to play great defense, doesn't put it on the floor. But if you have the luxury for a spot-up guy, he's it.
Steve Kerr with his first points of the game. That last foul was the 3rd on Ivano Newbill, who is a cheap physical man off the bench for the Atlanta Hawks. And right now, Lenny Wilkins wants to talk it over. But you're right. Alan Henderson is a guy he's waiting to return. He thinks that'll be the final piece for the Hawks.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Fila. Change the game.
There is Alan Henderson. We've been talking about him. He's had acute viral pancreatitis, out all year, just coming back. Hopes to get back soon.
Well, he lost 25 pounds, and last year you can see 18 minutes a game, 6 points, 4 rebounds. But he's so versatile. He plays small forward, backup center, and power forward for the second unit. You know, he's out of Indiana University, BS in biology. His dad is a cardiologist, and when basketball is over, he's going to medical school. He's a very interesting young man.
And Lenny Wilkins says he can give the Hawks offensive rebounding and be able to run the floor, and that may be the last link that they need to really become a strong power down the stretch.
And Dick, there's another guy not here tonight, their 3rd guard, and that is Recasner, who joined the ball club this year, and he can play either the point or the 2 guard, and they get the 2 of them back. Watch out.
4:20 remaining in the first half. The Hawks lead the Bulls 47-43. Jon Barry in and out with the 3-point attempt, out of bounds. Last touch by Atlanta.
That was just a beautiful staggered screen. Barry is very good at coming off staggered screens up to the top of the circle. And there's a guy that scored a few hoops in his day. Either off the and one of the greatest passers ever to play the game. Never mind the bushel of points that he scored.
And the free throw style, that was impeccable. Scottie Pippen called for the offensive foul. That is Pippen's 2nd personal foul. You remember Craig reported he had the right elbow taped up, still with the 10 points he scored in the first quarter.
Well, anytime Scottie goes to the hole, he takes it strong. Ivano Newbill took that one right in the chest. No question about the call.
Mookie Blaylock along with Steve Smith. Smith with a runner, and the rebound taken down by Michael Jordan. 47-43 with 3:44 to go. The Hawks led by as many as 8 earlier. The Bulls were up by 7. Jordan over Mookie Blaylock. 13 points now for Michael Jordan.
Michael blew by Steve Smith, but hey, Mookie Blaylock was right there, took it in his face.
Henry James trying to work down low against Scottie Pippen. Kerr all over Blaylock, not giving an inch. Blaylock misses a 3, and Rodman gets the rebound. That's 4 cleared rebounds by Dennis Rodman.
Right now, the Hawks got to regroup, get back to what got them here. Smart power basketball down inside first.
Longley finds Jordan. Jordan may feel he's got the stroke, and who's to argue? He's hit 2 in a row, 15 points, 11 here in the second quarter, and the Bulls have tied up Atlanta at 47.
I think if you go around the arena and you would ask, everyone will tell you, you know, Michael's really struggling here. He only has 15.
He has 15. Leading scorer along with Laettner in the game.
That's right.
He'll get a quiet 60 before you know it in one of these games. Smith working against Jordan. Smith forces that shot, but Blaylock is there alertly with the follow underneath.
For his career, 5 rebounds a game. Mookie Blaylock, point guard, 6 foot inside. That takes a lot of heart in this league.
Last Hawk, when Lenny Wilkens got here, he has changed the entire roster. Mookie Blaylock is the one remaining player who was here. Michael Jordan for 2, and so Jordan now with 17. He has hit his last 4 from the field, and the Bulls and Hawks tied at 49. What a game here in the first half as we wind down to the 2-minute mark.
He lost his dribble. That's why you tell guys, don't bounce the ball one dribble, because now if something opens up, you can't make a move.
Blaylock misses from downtown. The long rebound to Pippen, pushing it up. He's got Rodman filling, and Pippen will settle for 3 and hit it. Scottie Pippen for 3, and a 20-second timeout will be called by Lenny Wilkens as the Bulls have taken a 3-point lead.
Excellent call by Lenny Wilkens. His team is out of control. They're launching too many threes. Now, Scottie Pippen, that's his second 3 of the evening. He usually attempts at least 5 a game, and especially in transition. Now, here's Michael stepping back in your face. He feels it because Dick Stockton says, I think he made 2 in a row. So Michael heard you.
Well, when they put their hands on their shoulders, that was my first inkling. I will not take credit for being doing what Lenny Wilkens can do, who, by the way, was the only figure who was in the top 50 greatest players of all time and top 10 coaches. And of course, another of the top 50 is Jordan, who is 8 for 14 and 17 points in the midst of a 14-2 run by the Chicago Bulls. Want to remind you, coming up at halftime on the Nike Halftime Report, Ernie Johnson and Cheryl Miller in our Atlanta studios. More on that big trade between the Mavericks and the Heat, and a preview of tonight's Rockets-Sonics game. That's all coming up on the Nike Halftime Report. Minute 35 remaining in the first half. 19 on the shot clock for the Hawks, who are up by 8 now, find themselves down by 3. James over Longley. Tough shot with the big 7-footer in front of him.
Well, they set up a double screen that time, never thinking that they would switch the center out.
Crowd thought Rodman had traveled, but he did not move that anchor foot. So here's Jordan, who's been red hot, trying to stay that way. Doesn't get the bounce this time as we get close to a minute. Here is Mookie Blaylock trying to narrow that 3-point lead, and Blaylock throws it away for the second time. So you want the point guard to protect the basketball, and on occasion Blaylock has not done that so far tonight.
We have seen some bad passing, and the guy on your screen right there was only an all-star 9 times in the Hall of Fame after a 15-year career as a player, and definitely will go in as a coach. Dennis Rodman frustrated tonight. There's been a lot of banging and a lot of talking, but I think that Lenny would like to take Blaylock aside and say, will you stop trying to make the fancy pass? All we need is meat and potatoes here tonight.
Try to curtail a lot of that enthusiasm and zeal because you're playing the Bulls at home. Steve Kerr misses, and the rebound taken down that time by Tyrone Corbin with 35 plus remaining and 16 in the shot clock in this first half. Atlanta, by the way, has missed its last 6 3-point shots, so they may have gone to that well too often. Laettner with 5 on the shot clock, guarded by Kukoč, and they may not get the shot off. They fire up and don't get it off. Laettner, too much dribbling out on the outside, and the 24-second clock elapses, giving the Bulls the last opportunity to score.
If you look at the Hawks' first half, the turnovers have been a nightmare, and this last 5 minutes of basketball where they stayed perimeter. Lenny has definitely 2 things that he can hit them over the head with in that locker room, because this is a game that they could win.
Only down by 3, so considering the turnovers the Hawks have made, 10 already. Here's Jordan. Throws it away, and there's Blaylock checking the clock, checking Kerr, and throws up a wild shot. Did not get the call, as the official claims that Kerr was on the ball, and that'll do it. So the Hawks missed an opportunity after Blaylock grabbed that errant pass from Michael Jordan.
It was a great steal by Mookie Blaylock, but Dick, he definitely took off, meaning elevated too early. for that shot. Anytime you come on the break, reverse the guy with a reverse dribble.
Hawks ice cold with only one basket in the last 5 minutes, yet the Bulls lead is 52-49 at the half.
NBA.com. Log on and get connected.
I feel very safe in this car.
People love talking about Ford Taurus.
I mainly bought it for safety and security.
I like the way it looks.
This car has everything I need to fit my lifestyle. Feels safe, reassuring.
It handles well, it hugs the road. I can turn on a dime.
I finally found a manufacturer who listens to the customer.
Ford Taurus, the best-selling car in America, starting at $18,545.
It's forward-moving, forward-thinking, and I love being a part of that.
You can't beat it. Took it to the next level.
People call you guys bunny spotters.
Bunny spotters. I think that it trivializes what we do. It's much larger than that.
To watch somebody see it for the first time.
Whoa.
I feel very fortunate to be here because, you know, when we're all gone, I'm still going to be out there.
Does everyone have email but you? AT&T can deliver it to you through the internet. AT&T, nobody makes it easier to catch the wave.
I think everyone in the arena thought he was going to pass.
My uncles played ball. My father played ball. Basketball is in my blood. I'm still a leader in my own small way.
Oh, I'm the king. Oh, I'm the king.
Make no mistake, you are the king, and the king lives in the castle, and his word is law.
I can't believe you won the whole thing again. This is fantastic.
Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls are 31-1 when they lead at the half, and they lead tonight at the Omni in downtown Atlanta, 52-49, trying to snap the Hawks' 20-game home winning streak. Along with Cheryl Miller, I'm Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. We're lacing them up for the Nike halftime report. 19 months ago, Don Nelson succeeded Pat Riley as head coach of the New York Knicks. Now Riles calls the shots in Miami for a team primed to challenge the Bulls in the East, while Nelly took over basketball operations for struggling Dallas a week ago. Today, those two swung a 3-for-1 deal, the one being Jamal Mashburn, a career 22-a-night guy. He averaged 11 this season in Dallas. To get him, Miami gave up Sasha Danilovic, Kurt Thomas, and rookie Martin Mursep. Here's Pat Riley.
We want to try to find players that are proven and will complement and will slot into a position for a long period of time. And I think Jamal Mashburn, at 24 years old and prior to his injury, averaged over 20 points a game and 4.5 rebounds, over 4 assists a game. Gives us a very, very versatile young player who can do many things. He's complete.
Complete, but are there some ifs in here if his knee is completely healthy?
Well, there's a lot of ifs, EJ. If, you know, Jamal is able to return to form, and if he can stay healthy. But, you know, like Pat Riley said, there is a huge upswing. Not only will Jamal bring additional scoring, but also another threat on the perimeter.
Bottom line question, if all the positives are there, do they challenge the Bulls in the East?
You know, Ernie, I think there's a lot of question marks still has to be answered about this team without Jamal Mashburn, but certainly with him on this team, the Miami Heat have much more arsenal to work with.
Miami making a deal. Right now, they lead the Atlantic by 2 over the New York Knicks. Well, as it stands right now, they would meet in the first round of the playoffs. The Pistons and Hornets, 2 of the 10 teams in the NBA that have won at least 30 games. They're hooking up tonight, and we take you to the Hive, where Lindsey Hunter was lighting it up early. 3-pointer, he had 16 points in the half. Aaron McKee, nice vision inside, got Don Reed, who's all by himself. You want to see a nice pass? Tell me you do, because here it is.
Nice pass.
Check this out, Del Curry inside. That was a nice pass, wasn't it, to Tony Delk, who had 9 points in the half, and Dave Cowan's guys hanging around. They were down 52-45 at the half, and right now in the third quarter, they've closed the gap. They're down 5 at the Hive, 73-68. The Nets and the Washington Bullets are playing at Baltimore Arena tonight. 68-50 is the Washington lead. They play without Chris Webber, and New Jersey is down by a bunch. Milwaukee and Toronto playing at Maple Leaf Gardens. The first time they have played at Maple Leaf Gardens since 1975 when Buffalo beat New Orleans. You remember that, don't you, Cheryl? It was 51-49 at the break, and right now, in the third quarter, the Raptors with a 1-point lead. The big dog has got 30 as they play late in the third period. When we come back, it's their first head-to-head meeting at the point. Penny Hardaway and the rookie, Stephon Marbury. Come see me, Rook. We'll be back.
The promise of tomorrow. To put down roots. To be there for your kids. To watch your family grow. Owning a home means something different to everyone, but the dream always starts the same. For a free guide that can help you on the path to homeownership, call the Fannie Mae Foundation. We're showing America a new way home.
How about something hot? Just look for the Dot. Choose from 3 delicious crusts. There's classic hand-tossed, crunchy, thin crust, thick, ultimate deep dish. Wow. Whatever you wish. So tell us how and pick one now. Call now and you can enjoy a delicious Domino's pizza during the game. And why not add on some of Domino's spicy buffalo wings, our steaming hot breadsticks.
Your daughter has an American Express student card. She'll be able to get great deals on flights home.
It gives you more choices.
With that card, you can extend the payment. It's very flexible.
You're going to get a reward point for every dollar you spend.
Our senior member card has a lower fee.
It gives you some more options.
I'm sure we've got a card that'll work for you.
Whoever you are, American Express helps you do more. Get a big screen TV at a price you won't lose any sleep over. Circuit City, you can't get a lower price. We guarantee it.
I'd like to wish a happy Valentine's Day to my mother, who is watching me from 6,000 miles away. I love you.
From Orlando to Athens, Greece, Ronnie Cycli could be on his way to a career year. In this his 9th NBA season, averaging about 18 points, 10 boards a night, and taking some of the sting out of losing Shaq in Orlando. Tonight, the Magic hit the Target Center for a Friday night date with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Nick Anderson, three-pointer, money. Now watch Dean Garrett. Somehow, how do you miss this? Don't worry about it. Kevin Garnett is right there. And now, the rookie, Stephon Marbury.
Don't reach.
Treated like a rental car by Penny Hardaway. It was a 3-point game after one. Terry Porter, part of an 11-2 Minnesota run. Gotta like the Timberwolves. They're hanging around in the West. They're number 6 in that top 8. And they lead Orlando 57-51 at the break. Golden State and San Antonio at the Alamo Dome. And it is a 30-22 Golden State lead. The Clippers and the Phoenix Suns playing in America West. That one's just about to get started. And Jason Kidd is back tonight. Later on, 2 of the worst records are featured in Vancouver and 2 of the best in Seattle. The Sonics are 0-7, though, against the Western heavy hitters like Houston. What's up? Here's George Carl.
I think last year we had a lot of guys on the edge, and a lot of success comes when people work on the edge. This year, I think we're more professional. I think it's scary to say, but the Seattle Supersonics might be one of the more mature professional teams. As where 3-4 years ago, people were saying we were wild and out of control. In fact, I have to give the speech, be crazy, play crazy, because I think we know our jobs, we know how to win, and some nights we go about it with a casualness, a professionalness, that enthusiasm and intensity can be.
Hard to have it both ways, George. A few years ago, and he mentioned it, he used to say, our guys are too out of here. And now he's saying, come on, get some of that back. What's up with them?
Well, you know, I think Seattle is missing, Ernie, is their defensive intensity for a lot of various reasons. Once you start adding new players to the team, automatically the defense will start breaking down, because when you remember the Seattle Sonics, You think about their tough pressing defense, how they wreak a lot of havoc and force teams to turn the ball over. They no longer have that because they have new personnel. I think once they do get Nate McMillan back, matter of fact, I think he is back, it will definitely bring back their intensity and hopefully that confident Sonics team that we're used to seeing.
And we'll see if they can make some headway on the Lakers. They're 2 games behind them right now, but of course LA going without Shaq for 8 to 10 weeks. Back to put the finishing touch on the Nike halftime report in just a minute. You're watching the Hawks and the Bulls, and that was an entertaining first half, wasn't it? Chicago up by 3 over Mutombo and the Hawks.
My grandfather, my father, both my brothers, my kids will probably have thinning hair. Losing my hair was probably one of the most traumatic experiences in my life. But the great thing about Rogaine is you can interrupt nature. You can stop it. It takes 30 seconds, twice a day. It's easier than brushing your teeth or putting on deodorant. About 4 months later, my wife walked by and she just was, hey, wait a second, you're growing hair. Check this out. And it's thicker, it's fuller, it's great. I'm a user for life.
Daddy, don't go to the big store.
I have to go.
When you get that craving for a Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich made with Dave's blend of pepper and spices, it's hard to resist.
Your wife called. She said bring home a quart of milk.
What? In this weather? If you love the mouth-bending blast you get from a Butterfinger, but just want a little, now you can have it with Butterfinger BBs. Bite-sized bursts of crispity-crunchity Butterfinger that give you blast after blast. Have a Butterfinger Blast from Nestle.
Celebrating the NBA at 50, Chrysler brings you One-on-One, a matchup of NBA stars, past and present. Standing 6'10", George Mikan was the game's first dominant big man. Hard work enabled Mikan to hone a multitude of skills that would help pave the way for today's centers. While Mikan was the first dominant center in the U.S., Portland's Arvydas Sabonis held that distinction in Europe. Now in his second NBA season, this Lithuanian giant has made a lasting impression with his imposing size and unique passing skills. Arvydas Sabonis and the Blazers head for Orlando next Wednesday, a game you can see on TBS at 8 o'clock Eastern. The night before, Karl Malone and the Jazz host the San Antonio Spurs on TNT. Remember, tonight after the Bulls and Hawks, Cheryl and I will take you inside the NBA. All the Friday night highlights and the story of the Hawks' Alan Henderson and the illness that had him down and out. You know, the first time these teams played, the Hawks had a 3-point lead and went on to win the game. Tonight, the Bulls, with Michael scoring 17, up by a triple.
When sports cream, when legs are sore, when backs ache, when muscles hurt. Wise Sports Cream, rubbing it in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. Wise Sports Cream, because it works.
Worried that no one will visit your website? AT&T can drive customers right to your door. AT&T, nobody makes it easier to catch the wave.
Life is empty, torturous.
I yearn, wanting more.
Wanting more.
There's a burning from within.
Here's a tip. Eat something. I recommend the new Extreme Carvers from Boston Market, like the chicken cheese stick. Juicy, slow-roasted chicken, peppers, and onions smothered in 4 ooey-gooey cheeses. Now get a free side and a free drink when you buy an Extreme Chicken Cheese Stick, only at Boston Market.
Well, that burning from within, it's called hunger.
Discover the difference with an Eric Hinkle deal. Nobody makes you feel so good behind the wheel. Southwest Michigan, what do you think? The price sells cars, so think Hinkle.
Celebration savings. 4-wheel drive 97 Grand Cherokee Laredo. 97 Plymouth Grand Voyager. Both super loaded. $219 a month. Your choice. $219 a month. New 4-wheel drive Grand Cherokee Laredo. New Plymouth Grand Voyager. $219 a month.
Price sells cars, so think Hinkle.
Celebration savings now at Hinkle Chrysler Jeep, 1275 West Dickman Road.
In times of need, all across the land, we're your friends and neighbors who lend a helping hand. When we were needed, we were there. Americans at their best. When we're needed, we'll be there.
Halftime here at the Omni, and the Bulls lead the Hawks 52-49. Hawks have won 20 in a row at home. And Hubie, other than the late flurry by Michael Jordan, who has 17 points, Mutombo and Laettner really set a standard early on for the Hawks, who have played well in this game.
Well, the three perimeter guys, Corbin, Smith, and Blaylock, are struggling. They're 6 for 18. Plus, they have messed up 4 uncontested fast breaks that should be in the book. The Hawks should have at least a 5 to 6 point lead here. Now, you can see right now in the early going, Mutombo takes it strong. Their inside game, Mutombo and Laettner, you know, are right there with 15 and 11 points. They played big early and did an excellent job, especially Mutombo on the offensive board and also moving without the ball. But then at this end, this guy MJ, number 23, is having himself a nice half. 8 for 15 from the floor. He got the feel, and once he got it, he and Scottie Pippen. Pippen has 13, Jordan is 17. Now, in the matchup in the guard position, you can see the point differential. But see, Jordan is always going to get double a shot attempts that Smith is. So it's not fair to even him up. But what he helps you is in the rebounding. Michael with 4 already.
Now, the Bulls second in shooting are at 49%. The Hawks 24th, right with them. And the Hawks turned it over, but they haven't been burned too much by that. Right now, let's go to Craig Sager, who talked with Lenny Wilkins.
Coach, a 9-point lead with 5 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the half, now down by 3. What happened to the game plan?
Well, nothing happened to the game plan. We got a little bit in a hurry and took a couple of quick shots. And then we tried to make a couple of passes maybe a little too soon and turn the ball over. So we just got to be patient with ourselves. You know, we're playing pretty good, and I think if we're patient and execute, we'll be fine.
That's the last 6 3-pointers. The green light still out there for the team?
The green light, that's a misconception again, okay? A couple of times we swung the ball out, and again, it was a quick shot when we should have had a little more patience, maybe show shot and move. When you take a quick shot in a hurry, you don't have any rhythm, so then it's not a good shot.
Game plan's still there. The execution is what went wrong. Let's go back now to Dick and Hubie.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. And there's Scottie Pippen, who received 9 stitches on the cut on his right arm in the first half, and this was the play in which he suffered the injury.
Well, he received a back screen, and they threw a lob. Scottie came down that right side, and then he split himself wide open. Now remember, he went in, bandaged it, played the rest of the half, came out with 13 points, 8 rebounds, 6 for 9 shooting, went in, picked up the 9 stitches. Not bad, Dick.
Not bad at all. 10 of those points coming in the first quarter. Michael Jordan had 17, 13 coming in the second quarter, and his first shot doesn't get anything. And here come the Hawks. They've got Mookie Blaylock, along with Steve Smith, Christian Laettner, Dikembe Mutombo, and Tyrone Corbin, the same 5 who started. Hawks lost their opening home game of the year to Detroit, have run off 20 in a row. Their record here for home wins in succession is 22. Harper got a piece of Blaylock's shot, and Laettner throws up an air ball, and that'll be a 24-second violation.
Well, at both ends. We had Michael throw a bad fadeaway that Steve Smith got a piece of, and at this end, you just saw lackadaisical ball movement. It took the Hawks too long of a period of time to find Laettner in the post-up.
This is a game the Bulls want because the Hawks are one of the teams to have administered a setback. 43-6 is their record, and Jordan and Pippen reflect that with their play. Jordan played 22 minutes, Pippen 21 so far in the game, and Pippen out of bounds.
He was definitely pushed out of bounds. You can see Pippen, he's telling the referee, Garretson, on the baseline that he got pushed, and he definitely did. Just keep an eye. Watch him push him right out of bounds with that forearm. There it is right there.
So the Hawks trail by 3. No scoring yet in this third quarter. Corbin will inbound. Corbin, who played for Lenny Wilkins at Cleveland. He has been traded 5 times in his career and serving his second tour of duty with the Atlanta Hawks.
Well, the Hawks like the combination of Corbin and James at that small forward.
Mutombo has a shot deflected by Longley, who gets credit for the block. Kukoč quickly down court, hits the jumper. Toni Kukoč now with 9.
I say it every game. You miss a layup at one end, in the NBA they score within 4 seconds at the other.
Not been able to argue with you. You said it every game, and I never argue.
It's incredible.
Laettner overplaying, knocks the ball away and keeps it in the possession. And a great alert move by Mookie Blaylock, who cut through the double team underneath, missed the layup. Harper left open for the 3. Long rebound to Mookie Blaylock, but the Bulls get back defensively.
Right now, you know, Atlanta better get themselves together. They have absolutely no rhythm here, and they're kind of floundering at both ends.
Laettner inside, misses badly, and I'm surprised that the Hawks have come out as sloppy as they have after Lenny Wilkins had talked with him.
Well, Laettner just said, I got hit in the nose. At the play before, Mutombo thought that he got hit on the wrist. Well, that happens when you play the ball.
Jordan misses, and Smith running the floor on the feed from Laettner, and that is the first field goal for the Atlanta Hawks. They're 1 for 5 shooting this quarter.
Now, if you're really following this game and you're an astute guy watching, anytime that the shot goes up, Steve Smith takes off. So he's putting pressure on Michael Jordan to get down the floor in transition.
What do you mean?
It's about time that he has scored in the open.
What do you mean if you're astute? Everyone watching this game is astute.
Yeah, now just keep an eye. There he goes. He's just taking off right now. So he puts the pressure on whoever picks him up, whether it be Jordan, whether it be Pippen, or even Ron Harper.
Luc Longley misses the first free throw. You got to give the audience a lot of credit. They are pretty astute out there.
All right.
Right? Okay. That way we'll get a good response from the audience. And a 20-second timeout has been called by Lenny Wilkins. Michael Jordan, 17 points. Hasn't really played a dazzling offensive game as of late, but you never know when he'll get started. He has 17. Well, the NBA schedule on Turner next week, all 8 o'clock starts. TNT Tuesday, the San Antonio Spurs against the Utah Jazz. On Wednesday night on TBS, the Portland Trail Blazers against the Orlando Magic. And a week from tonight on TNT, it'll be the Washington Bullets against the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan. Friday at 8 o'clock, Hubie and I will be there at the USA Arena.
What you like about Michael Jordan, he's 8 for 16, so he's shooting 50%. He has 4 rebounds and 3 assists. So he's doing a little bit of everything here right now. And it was nice to see what Michael did in the All-Star game. He was getting that triple-double for the first time. And that was a staggering stat. First time ever in All-Star history a player came in with a triple-double.
You don't play that many minutes because everyone gets a chance to play. Steal by Kukoč. Laettner. And Kukoč storms it through. Laettner a little bit lackadaisical, and maybe the pass wasn't that good either. And then another turnover, and the Hawks are sleepwalking right now early here in this third quarter.
Ty Corbin took the inbound pass, and he's not even looking. Now just watch here. This is a great anticipation. Good steal by Kukoč, sends it down, and then at the other end, as they inbound the pass, Corbin did not catch it. It rolled out of bounds.
And Kukoč makes you pay with his first from downtown. 14 points for Kukoč, and to no one's surprise, Jordan with 17, Kukoč 14, and Pippen with 13. Those are the Bulls who are in double figures coming into the game. And Chicago opening up its biggest lead of the game at 9. Laettner up and under, has it blocked by Kukoč from behind, and the Bulls using defense to set up their offense. What else is new for them? Jordan in a crowd loses it. Mutombo to Smith. Kukoč is back.
You have to score on that. That was a 3-on-2.
And Smith is decked by Kukoč on a hard foul, and that'll be the second on Toni Kukoč.
Well, you can see at both ends of the floor. There is a lot of banging, but it's at both ends. The referees have made a statement. You have to play big here tonight. You're not getting any, favorite calls here. Now, in this surge by Chicago, the Atlanta Hawks have come out and have been very passive. I'm kind of stunned by their offensive passiveness at the one end of the floor.
And as you saw on the graphic, only 2 baskets in the last 8.5 minutes, and that extends back to the second quarter. They are only 1 of 6 from the field here in the third, and 2 turnovers. And 1 free throw by Smith. Laettner knocks it out of bounds, so it's Chicago ball. The Bulls with an 8-point lead and possession here with 8:25 remaining in the third. Chicago Bulls 21-5 on the road, the best record in the NBA away from home, and Laettner steals it from Kukoč. Laettner posting up against Kukoč. Blaylock finally finds him. Laettner working his way in, and it goes for Christian Laettner now with 17 leading Atlanta.
No way can Kukoč play him, Dick. And it's the old story of size and strength. And Laettner,
another steal by Laettner.
Great move.
So now the Chicago Bulls are lackadaisical with the basketball. Each side is having an opportunity, and the crowd on its feet. A timeout as the Hawks now have come within 4.
Well, Christian Laettner definitely playing the passing lanes well. And this is just an excellent move. Take them strong. Use your upper body strength because Kukoč will always gamble. This is a nice anticipation by Laettner, and then send it strong.
2 baskets in the last 15 seconds for Christian Laettner.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by Dutch Boy Paints. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy. And by Chevrolet Trucks.
Bulls lead cut to 4 with 7:51 to go in the 3rd quarter, and both of these teams protecting the ball well this year, committing just about their season's average in turnovers.
Well, you can see Chicago first, Atlanta third, and fewest turnovers. But then, in the actual play, what we're seeing are 2 excellent defensive teams that double team you quickly, and they also play the passing lane well. So what you cannot do is play lackadaisical basketball.
And both teams have shown that here in the 3rd quarter. So Michael Jordan guarded by Smith. He's got Harper, Pippen, Longley, and Toni Kukoč. Here is Pippen with a good pass into Longley, and he loses it out of bounds. That was a good double on the Longley inside.
It was a quick double team. The Hawks are doing a good job anytime that Chicago puts the ball on the floor. They're not double teaming you until they see you dribble.
Bulls have turned it over 5 times already in the 3rd quarter, and we're not halfway through. Here's Mutombo down low, working against Longley. Does a good job on it, but Mutombo at the last second comes in with the hook. And Dikembe Mutombo with his first points of the 2nd half has 13 now in the game, matching his season's average. 3-point attempt missed outside, and Mutombo gets the rebound, so the Hawks in position to tie it up. Atlanta on a 7-0 run after falling behind by 9.
Go to Mutombo. He just made something out of nothing.
He has been very effective down low all night when he's gotten the opportunity. 4 on the shot clock. Blaylock to Laettner, and the pass into Mookie Blaylock as the 24-second buzzer occurred, and a good teamwork, fine ball movement by the Hawks, who have tied the game at 60.
Give and go basketball.
Jordan to Pippen, picked up by Corbin, and Scottie Pippen off the glass, and Mutombo winds up with it.
Mutombo got that shot. That was a beautiful block. I tell you, Mutombo is all over the place.
He's got 3 blocks, just below his season's average. Mutombo in the league is 2nd in block shots. Smith nails it, and the Hawks lead 62-60. Steve Smith with 14 points, and the Atlanta Hawks, who are down by 9, have wrested the lead away from the Bulls here in the 3rd with under 6 minutes to go. Jordan still has not scored here in the 3rd quarter, and as we say it, Jordan lays it in. Michael Jordan with 19.
Oh, he went right at him. Took that right into 4 white shirts.
5.5 to go. Jordan now with 19 points, and it was last touched by the Hawks.
Watch Mutombo here now. Now he's been struggling, trying to get a shot. He can't get it. Couldn't do the up and under. Beautiful. Nice rhythm. Now this is just excellent passing. Now just watch as give and go right there, and then the completion. You got to be able to finish in the paint.
Toni Kukoč has gone out, and Dennis Rodman seeing his first action here in the 3rd quarter. Laettner, who has 19 points and is matched with Jordan for game-high scoring honor. Laettner trying to set a screen against Rodman, and a long 3-point attempt by Blaylock doesn't go, and Longley is fouled by Christian Laettner, and that will be the first on Laettner.
Now in that first half, Dennis Rodman played 13 minutes and had 5 rebounds. So right now, Phil does not like his chemistry. Atlanta is scoring easily, so let's go with our defensive team. Out there now with Rodman, Pippen, and Jordan, you have 3 of the first team all defensive players.
Pippen posting up against Corbin. Laettner doubles, and Rodman blocked by Mutombo. And that'll be goaltending called. And so credit the basket to Dennis Rodman, his first points of the night. And Mutombo, who has been a giant inside, goaltended on this one.
Well, he feels that he got it on the way up. Now, you can see it right there. They're saying that it hit the backboard first, then he got it.
But Mutombo, even with that goaltending, is a guy you got to worry about inside. You see the value of the big guy coming from Denver. Now he has it in the low post against Longley. Jordan staying with Smith. 9 on the shot clock. Smith fires it up and hits. Steve Smith, 16 points, went in, averaging nearly 19 on the year, tying the game again at 64. And a holding foul is called against Atlanta. Let's see who gets called for it.
Yeah, that was a bad call for Laettner because of the hand check versus the forearm check. And you can see Lenny was a little upset on that one. He just thought that was a cheap call.
Second foul on Laettner and the third team foul against the Bulls.
Steve Smith, one of the premier streak shooters that we have in this league. So when he's hot, they milk him.
Steve Smith had 41 against the Utah Jazz on the last trip, and that's the most points by an Atlanta player this year. Rodman and Laettner going at it a bit here, and they're hitting hard, and Rodman leaves it for Pippen. Good pass from Pippen to Longley, who hits it. Scottie Pippen made that play for the Bulls.
In the first half, Michael Jordan had 15 shots, Luc Longley 11. And not one play was called for him. He's getting everything off the spot-ups. And if you remember last year in the season final series with Seattle, he came alive and scored quite a few points for Chicago. You cannot leave him alone.
Longley in double figures with 11 points. 4 more than a season average.
Watch out.
Rodman and Laettner doesn't want any part of Dennis Rodman. He doesn't want him to help him off the floor. And so Dennis Rodman, who went at it with Dikembe Mutombo in the first half, going at it a bit now with Christian Laettner in the second.
Now, and remember now, in the last game that was played here, and Laettner had 37 and 12 foul shot attempts, 14 rebounds. Rodman played him the whole night at 5 fouls and only 4 points in the game.
Rodman picking up his first foul of the game. Here is Corbin open from the baseline. Rodman tips it in the hands of Pippen. The Bulls lead by 2, 66-64. Here is Harper all night to shoot a 3, and he hits from downtown. That's his second three-pointer of the game, and Chicago up now by 5.
Well, he can do that. Right now, Corbin and James really have struggled at that position. They're not getting any points, and they just have to pick up and be a little bit more active. If you're not going to score the points, then you got to give us better defense.
Corbin on the pick and roll inside, nothing there, and a long 3 by Steve Smith. Oh, he was a good 5 feet beyond the three-point arc, and it couldn't come at a better time for the Hawks, who are down by 2. And now Atlanta with a chance to tie it up. Harper defending against Smith, and they're letting him play. No foul. Everything seemed to stop, but the official did not blow his whistle. Here is Pippen now as the pace is quickened. Here is Michael Jordan. Winds up on the floor, but gets his 21st point, and the Bulls lead by 4.
Now that time, Laettner put Jordan down, and Rodman and Jordan were both yelling at Laettner. And we have to be very careful there, both ends of the floor. 3 guys who are refereeing have got to be all over these people.
But the tempo and the temperature has picked up considerably between these two teams. Hawks beating the Bulls on December 26th here at the Omni, and the Bulls winning earlier in the year in Chicago. Jordan, if Jordan gets a little perturbed, watch out. He's got 23, and the lead is 6 for the Bulls.
When Michael went to the floor, he bruised that left elbow. Now Phil Jackson just yelled out to him, and Michael said he was okay.
Blaylock controlling, guarded by Harper as we wind down to 2 minutes to go in a very heated third quarter here in Atlanta. Corbin on a 2-man game hits a 3. So now the Atlanta Hawks start to hit from the perimeter.
Hey, there are so many subplots going on here.
About 20.
I'll tell you, just can't watch everything. Rodman and Laettner are smashing one another and yelling. Here it is again.
And there it is. Rodman is hit by Laettner, so Rodman has a new foe and gives him a pat on the back.
See, he's trying to get to Laettner, and up until now, Laettner's doing an excellent job. There's a ton of physical contact going on. Now, just watch this between these 2 guys. Now, you see how he locked him up? Now, right there, Rodman went under Laettner's arm, hooked up, and as Laettner pushed back, Rodman flops.
Laettner is not taking any of it. Here's the earlier one a little while ago. Double foul called on Rodman and Laettner.
Yeah, and that's the one that preceded all of this, along with about 5 other skirmishes that we have not shown you.
I guess Dennis Rodman is back, playing for charity or whatever. Chicago by 3.
Spurs Jazz Tuesday night at 8. The NBA's on TNT.
Chevy Blazer with the exclusive driver control system. A little security in an insecure world.
What was that?
All systems are down.
Houston, we have a problem. I'm showing a main bus undervolt.
Houston, come in. Hi, guys. Okay, you lost main power. I put in a backup system. You really shouldn't be up here without one, and I'd suggest you upgrade your insulation when you get home.
Get solutions to business problems before they become problems. AEP, America's energy partner.
Only on Stars and nowhere else.
Boy, I never thought I'd be here.
For over 30 years, he taught his students to love music. But in the end,
look around. We are your symphony, Mr. Holmes.
the life he changed the most.
I was dragged into this gig kicking and screaming, and now it's the only thing I want to do.
Was his own. Richard Dreyfuss, Mr. Holland's Opus. A movie that will touch you from TCI Choice Theaters.
We're going to show you Dennis Rodman hooking underneath Laettner's arm. Now, just keep an eye. We're going to roll it. Now, watch as Dennis comes under his arm. Now, you see how he hooks him? Now, Laettner just pushes him back on the floor, and then he catches him with his right forearm also. So they call a double foul. But this has been going on now. We've shown you at least 5 field goals, but we have had action off the ball with these two guys.
And they'll jump it at center court following the double foul. And there is David Stern, who at the All-Star break said there's nothing I can do about Dennis Rodman off the court. I only govern what happens on the floor, and the officials are doing a good job with Rodman and company on the floor. Now, Laettner with his 3rd foul as a result of that double foul. Rodman has 2. And Longley and Mutombo jump, and it's controlled by Blaylock and the Atlanta Hawks. Despite the physical play tonight, there have been only 13 free throw shots. You'd expect more the way these guys have banged at each other. Minute and a half to go in the 3rd quarter. Smith to Blaylock. Smith firing over Jordan for 3 and a wild shot. And it was Corbin who follows it up. Tyrone Corbin only has 5, and they've been a big 5.
Yeah, but that Mutombo, I don't know who they're going to give that field goal to, but that could have been to Mutombo, because he also got a piece of that coming off the rim.
Jordan up and under, foul by Smith. Steve Smith is doing a pretty good job against Jordan. That's right, even with 23. And Michael Jordan is fouled by him.
Yeah, Lenny's not very happy, but they're calling that he catches him in the face. Let's keep an eye on this now, because they're taking it on the side. Right there. There it is.
Not a shooting foul.
Yeah, he caught him on the first one, and that's exactly what Bob Delaney called. As Steve Smith went by Michael, he caught him with his arm.
14 fouls against the Hawks, 2 against Chicago. And there is Pippen. Corbin staying right with him. 1 minute to go. And it'll be Chicago's ball with 16 seconds on the shot clock.
When you're in this game right now, you cannot allow all of this, confrontations that are happening everywhere on the floor interrupt with your mental intensity. You have to stay within. Your point guards have got to grab the game and get them within their arm.
That's a message for the Hawks, because the Bulls can handle that. Jordan in a rare turnover for him, and he thought there'd be a cutter underneath. So with under a minute to go in the 3rd quarter, a 1-point lead for the Bulls.
See, they had 2 guys on Michael again in a heartbeat. Boom. As soon as he put it down, they're right on top of him.
Rodman on Laettner. Now Blaylock with 15 on the shot clock. Harper doing a good job, and Pippen pokes Tyrone Corbin. That is not going to be a shooting foul. It is the third foul against Pippen and the first in the last 2 minutes for the Bulls.
Well, the next foul on either team will be shooting the penalty.
And a new clock, 24 seconds and 40 and running, remaining in the third quarter. Chicago led by 3 at the half and 6 after 1. So the Hawks have come back each quarter. Here is Mookie Blaylock. Long rebound into the hands of Jordan. He's got Pippen in front, and Pippen going to the hoop is fouled.
Yeah, Mutombo just had a bad angle that time. He just got a bad angle, and there was body contact. He had an opportunity to get in front of Pippen. Now just watch this. See, he rides him. See, he rides him right there. See, he caught him with his chest. So there's definitely going to be body contact, 2-shot foul.
It's on Mutombo, his second, and believe it or not, the Chicago Bulls have gone to the free throw line, Hubie, only 5 times tonight.
Well, you know, they're one of the lowest in the league anyway. They only average 22 a game.
Right now, let's take a look at tonight's Chevy scoreboard as you're looking at the other scores around the NBA. Want to remind you to tune in to CNN at 11 p.m. for all the scores and highlights on the simulcast of CNN SI.
Now, Scottie Pippen is right there with major percentages in every category that we have. But the one that he lacks is foul shooting, 64% foul shooting.
He missed them both, and on the scramble, out of bounds.
Oh, my.
And it's going to be Atlanta's ball, last touched by Rodman, according to Ron Garretson underneath.
Rodman is back by the fans with the basketball. Now watch, he's coming into the picture now.
And here is Bob Delaney, and it is Atlanta's ball.
Now this is a mad scramble right here. You can see Laettner has it, but then as it's thrown, it was thrown out of bounds by Christian Laettner, believe it or not.
So that call went against the Chicago Bulls. It should have been their ball, and playing for the last shot, Steve Kerr and Jud Buechler are in the lineup now for the Bulls. Buechler for the first time in the game, and Smith fires one up long range. Pippen the rebound. With under 2 seconds, he's got time. Here is Scottie's shot, and if it had gone through, it would have counted. So that is the end of the third quarter. Michael Jordan and Steve Smith, the shooting guards, lighting it up for 23 and 19 respectively. And after 3 quarters here at the sold-out Omni, the Bulls lead the Hawks by a score of 73 to 72.
Usually the more gizmos you want, the more money you got to spend. Then there's a Chevrolet Cavalier. It gives you a lot of the same gizmos that make expensive cars easy to live with. If you forget to lock your doors, the Cavalier is still protected by a gizmo called a theft deterrent system. If you leave your dome light on, it turns it off. Get the car that's easy to own, a Cavalier. Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust.
Get 3.9% APR financing on Cavalier now through February 17th.
As long as this thing's been going, we've been chasing it. It's an obsession with us.
We've gone days without seeing anything. Stop now! Yeah, over there. It's a woodchuck. Nothing, right? It's a woodchuck. Sorry. Just keeps going and going, and therefore you yourself have to keep going and going.
If you love the mouth-bending blast you get from a Butterfinger, but just want a little, now you can have it with Butterfinger BBs. Bite-sized bursts of crispity, crunchity Butterfinger that give you blast after blast. Have a Butterfinger blast from Nestle.
Who's looking after your money? You do have goals to reach. Are mutual funds getting you there? How do they see things? At Janus, they look for opportunities one at a time. Not sectors, not categories, not trends. Just great companies to invest in, no matter what the market's doing. You can find them if you look hard enough, and Janus does. Get there. Janus no-load mutual funds.
Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studio. The last time Jason Kidd had the Phoenix Suns uniform on, it was December 28th. He's been out with a collarbone injury. He's back tonight. He steals the lazy Derek Martin pass and takes it the length. In the second quarter, now he has 6 points. He came off the bench for Danny Ainge's troops tonight. Phoenix Suns playing the Clippers, and they lead it 47-36 in the second. Whale of a fourth quarter coming up downtown at the Omni, I believe. Let's go back to Dick and Hubie and Craig, guys.
Thank you, Ernie. Thank you very much. And there you see the score by quarters. And this game should be played in April, May, and June because this has had all of the playoff intensity you would expect.
We're getting it at both ends. In the shooting, Chicago 50%, Atlanta 48. The three-point shooting, Chicago 5 for 13, Atlanta 7 for 21. Rebounding, Chicago by 3, 32-29.
Steve Smith handling the ball. He's got Jon Barry as his backcourt mate right now. Barry into the game, guarded by Steve Kerr. Michael Jordan starting this fourth quarter. Normally he sits out early, but this is a different kind of game. Barry firing from 3, long rebound into the hands of Smith. Henry James also in there, so Lenny Wilkins has a couple of nifty three-point shooters in the lineup, and a loose ball foul is called against Christian Laettner, and that'll be number 4 against Laettner, who has 19 points, along with Steve Smith, to lead the Atlanta Hawks. Jordan's 23, leads 4 double-figure scores for Chicago.
Yeah, they catch Laettner going over the back that time. He's anxious because he feels that he has a mismatch in size.
Jason Caffey also in with Kerr. New faces for the Bulls, and Kukoč from downtown. Very quietly, Toni Kukoč has chipped in with 17 points, including 2 three-pointers.
And in limited time, Dick. You know, he's making the most of his minutes.
And he started, remember, in place of Dennis Rodman. Kind of a surprise at the 11th hour. And he's played 23 minutes off the bench.
Right now, Rodman tied up with Mutombo. Mutombo trying to get into a position. See, they're getting away with Rodman at his size playing him. Remember, Rodman is only 6'8". See, you're allowed to use your forearms, but naturally he's using a little bit more than the forearm. Right.
Naturally.
And he's not going to allow you to get to that position.
Editorial comment there.
Yeah.
3 fouls now on Dennis Rodman. Caffey is guarding Laettner. Tough task for Jason Caffey, but that's what the Bulls expect from him. And there is Steve Smith on a runner, and it will not fall. Rebound by Rodman. That's 6 off the glass for Rodman, who goes in averaging nearly 16.5 on the year. Minute and a half gone by here in the fourth quarter. The Bulls 76 and the Hawks 72. Pippen on the bench right now for the Bulls. Steve Kerr driving as James and Laettner, and let's see if Laettner gets called for it. That'll be 5, but it will not be Laettner. Henry James
catches him. You'll see it right there. See, he pushed him with his hand, and they catch him before Laettner. And fortunately for the Hawks, because Laettner really nailed it.
Steve Kerr will be on the free throw line. Kerr second in the league in three-point shooting percentage and 81% from the line. Well, NBA action this Sunday on NBC in a big doubleheader beginning at 2:30 Eastern when Seattle and Los Angeles, the Sonics and the Lakers, 2 of the strengths in the Pacific Division, and then the Orlando Magic against the Chicago Bulls. That's the NBA on NBC. A couple of big matchups coming up Sunday. Tyrone Corbin has come in for Laettner, so Laettner getting a rest.
Watch Jordan, you can't fall asleep there. See, Jordan loves to come right down from the top of the circle as soon as the ball leaves the foul shooter's hand.
The All-Star game.
That's right. You always need to keep a guy right there to block him out.
Bulls are only 3 of 8 from the free throw line. They haven't gone there much and haven't produced much. Kukoč produces the turnover, and a 4-on-3 now for the Bulls. Kukoč offline, and Caffey keeps it alive nicely. Kerr fires up a 3. Mutombo battling inside, and Newbill in the game also helping him out, but Mutombo comes down with it.
Dick, anytime Kukoč is playing you in the post, you know you've got to come and meet the ball because he's going to gamble for the steal, and he's had 3 tonight.
Barry guarded by Kerr, a couple of three-point shooters having at it. 6 seconds on the shot clock, and Barry misses. There's Mutombo with the rebound. and he has it blocked by Kukoč into the hands of Jordan.
Look out, 3-on-2.
Kerr trying to direct traffic. Finally goes out to Jordan, who fires from downtown. Long rebound. Kerr gets it back, and a new clock for Chicago.
Anytime that you're a guard and a guy shoots a 3, you go to the foul line area because the ball rebounds long.
Bulls by 5. Here's Kukoč with a fake against Smith, and Toni Kukoč is fouled.
I'm very impressed with Kukoč tonight. He is active. He does not have a great deal of minutes. In the first half, he only had 15 minutes. He had 7 points, but he's making things happen. He's taking advantage of his time.
Came in averaging 13.4 points a game. Red hot from the field tonight. 7 of 10 and 17 points. Remember, Jud Buechler pointed out, did not play in their last meeting at the Omni due to a sprained ankle.
Now you're going to see as Mutombo comes under, Kukoč gets the block. So in 24 minutes, he is filling up all of our statistical categories there.
Kukoč with both free throws and just under 9 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, and the Bulls have opened up a 7-point lead.
You got to be careful when you play them defensively, especially when you go to the second unit. They have all spot up people.
7 can become 14 in a hurry, and usually it's the defense that spurs it on. 5 on the shot clock. Blaylock trapped in the corner. Rodman picks him up on the switch, and Blaylock from downtown. Whenever the Hawks have needed a big perimeter shot tonight, they have gotten it to avoid the Bulls from opening up a big lead.
Now they're struggling with the 3, but that was a big one. I think they're 8 for 22 right now.
Jordan with a turnaround over Blaylock. Michael Jordan now with 25. Remember, he had 43 in their victory over Charlotte on Tuesday, including the game winner at the buzzer from downtown.
That's what you like about Chicago. They're a very heady, very intelligent team. They get the mismatch. They run that man right into the post. Now this is Mookie Blaylock. Now watch as he comes off Mutombo. He's looking for the shot right there because Rodman cheated and did not come up.
But remember, Michael answered that basket.
Gravity by Foot Locker. Of all the laws of nature, you are my least favorite.
It's not your fault you exist, but gravity.
You are no friend of mine. You do not belong in my house, though you show up every morning. I defy you, Gravity. You are not my obstacle.
That grin you see, that's me knowing I will beat you.
If only for an instant. Even if it's just for an instant. Foot Locker, where it all begins and gravity ends.
And this is a guy thing, right?
Schick brings you the shaving system for sensitive skin.
Is this a sensitive part?
Designed to give a smooth shave with less irritation. Schick Tracer FX.
You the sensitive type? I like that.
Designed for the man with sensitive skin. Schick Tracer FX.
I didn't grow up in this neighborhood. I'm from a small town in North Carolina. But some things here are just like home. Sure, every community has problems. But when everyone works together, it doesn't matter where you're from. So team up with your community. Even if you are the new guy in town.
Spurs Jazz Tuesday night at 8. The NBA's on TNT.
And here is tonight's Dutch boy in the paint. It has been a feverish battle inside. The rebounding practically even, both on the offensive glass and total. And the points in the paint, the Bulls have a short edge. And speaking about a guy who used to have a bit of an edge when he played on the tennis circuit, John McEnroe, who right now is with Craig.
Well, Dick, you're right. One of the most intense competitors the sports world has ever known. If you're a basketball player, would your game resemble Dennis Rodman or Michael Jordan?
Maybe somewhere in the middle, but I appreciate the comparison. That shows that you were the best.
But I want to know from Hubie. I understand he's a big tennis player. I know that his coaching is probably a little different than my tennis style. How does he play tennis? Ask him if he serves and volleys or stays back.
Well, I'll tell you what. You analyze his tennis game, he'll analyze your basketball game. Good luck tomorrow on the match.
Tell John that Hubie never stayed back any time, so you know he's a serve and volleyer.
I'll tell you, when we were in New York, John was at all the games. He's a very, very big basketball and quite knowledgeable fan.
And there's Newbill picking up the loose ball, missing it, scramble into the hands of Dennis Rodman. Whenever there's a loose ball, you know the guy who can anticipate it the best. Dennis Rodman has made a career out of that. That's 8 boards for Dennis.
Here's that mismatch. Michael shoot over.
Jordan against Blaylock. Knocked away by Caffey, and he can't save it. And it'll be Atlanta's ball.
Yeah, he tried to call a 22nd, but they had him on the line before he elevated to call a timeout.
6-point lead for Phil Jackson's Chicago Bulls. Jackson's done a great job this year amidst the suspension of Rodman. 2 of them, really. The injury to Longley and Harper. He has kept this team together, amazingly, to a 43-6 record. Here is Henry James. This is the scoop, but Mutombo follows it up. Dikembe Mutombo now with 17 on the night.
That was a very nice move by James. But Mutombo has been excellent on the offensive glass.
Caffey outside. Newbill kind of gotten a poke in defending against Caffey.
See, Michael keeps calling for the ball because you can't go away from him with Blaylock playing him. He forces the double team or Michael will shoot over.
Yeah, no double team right now. Jordan will shoot over him and short with it, but Rodman knows where the ball is, and he keeps it alive for the Bulls with 6:40 to go in the 4th. Here's a good low post for Jordan, and Mutombo gets a piece of it.
Yes, he did.
4 blocks for Dikembe Mutombo. He helped out brilliantly, helping Blaylock on Michael Jordan. It is 81-77. The Bulls by 4. Bulls are trying to end the Hawks' 20-game winning streak at home this year.
Oh,
Mutombo with a hook shot from the baseline. He's got 19 and 18 rebounds, having a monster game tonight.
And the big fellow is doing a lot of talking as he's running back.
And he can talk tonight. He's backing it up.
He's having a great game.
But the Bulls still lead by 2. Chicago Bulls, the best road team, trying to end the streak. Kukoč driving to the basket is fouled.
They catch James with the hand checking. Now you can see, now he's getting himself into a rhythm because he loves to come to that jump hook. They say, oh, that was a lucky shot. That's not a lucky shot. He's been able to do that. He used to do that at Georgetown.
Mutombo, big force tonight for the Hawks, and now the Bulls bring back 2 of their regulars, Scottie Pippen and Luc Longley, into the lineup. Longley scored 11 points when he was in there, and Pippen 13. Remember, Scottie is playing with a bandage on his right arm. He had 9 stitches from a cut suffered off the rim in the first half. He has scored only 3 points since the first quarter tonight. He had 10 in the first. But there he is against Barry. Good pass into Longley and a foul.
So, you know, Scottie has the total game. You know, you talk about him, he gets his 19 points. You know he's going to be right at 7 rebounds, 6 assists, a couple of steals, and then he's going to get 1 shot block. But he's a cerebral player. He sees everything. You notice they post him up, they send Longley to the basket, beautiful bounce pass right in his hand.
And that's why when they talk about the best all-round players in the NBA, Pippen and Grant Hill right there at the top of the list, and we're talking about doing everything. Longley with his second free throw misses, tipped away, and the battle won by Dennis Rodman. And the Bulls get possession with 5:38 to go, and a foul on the shot. Michael Jordan taking the shot, and Mookie Blaylock committing the foul. Want to remind you, next week, these are the trio of games that will come your way. Tuesday on TNT, Wednesday on TBS, and a week from tonight, the Bulls in action again on TNT. All games starting at 8 o'clock.
If you notice, Michael has just gone through a little frustration here. 1 for 4 in that mismatch with Blaylock, double teaming him, Blaylock getting up on him and forcing him into a fadeaway every time. Now, that time, you know, he went right at him to get on that foul line. He gets 7 foul shot attempts a game.
And this was only his first tonight. So Jordan has not gone to the free throw line tonight. This is his second, and he's 1 out of 2 And it's 83-79. Plenty of time remaining. The Bulls are up by 4. They led by 1 after 3. We're in the 4th quarter here at the Omni. Capacity crowd. Hottest ticket in perhaps a decade for an Atlanta Hawk game here at the Omni.
This is what's missing right here.
Laettner against Rodman with a turnaround. Mutombo battling Rodman, and the Hawks get it back, and Laettner doesn't make it go. They had a couple of great opportunities.
2 good looks. Mutombo kept it alive.
So the lead is still 3-4, that is, for the Bulls. Here is Longley, and it's blocked by Laettner.
Oh, Jordan gets it back.
And it won't fall for him. And Rodman knocks it to himself. Dennis Rodman has been a valuable offensive rebounder tonight for the Bulls, who won a timeout.
He has 11 for the game, but in this stretch, he has 3 key offensive rebounds. And when you put Dennis Rodman's number up versus what the team did without him, you get 3 extra offensive rebounds when he's in the game. He's averaging 6 offensive boards a game.
Two-hundredths of a second. A human eye begins to blink. A hummingbird flits its wings once. And a sensor in a door frame tells an airbag in a seat to deploy. Because when it comes to your safety, every 100th of a second counts. The 1997 Lexus LS 400.
You know what? If you need quality transportation, but you're plagued with bad credit, slow credit, or no credit, no problem. Just call Bill Tyrion, Mr. T, at Hinkle Chrysler Jeep today, 968-6007, regardless of your past credit. Hinkle Chrysler Jeep has a program for you. Choose from hundreds of quality pre-owned cars, all with Hinkle Chrysler Jeep's 85-point safety and performance check. No matter how bad your credit, don't be afraid to call Mr. T at Hinkle Chrysler Jeep and used cars on Dickman Road, 968-6007. Call now.
Right now, there are great movies all over cable TV. But where? I'll tell you. The Cable Guide. Oh, it's the easiest, most comprehensive guide to everything on cable for the entire month. Don't bother the actor! I mean, this month alone, the Cable Guide lists over 1,300 comedies and romances and specials. Can I have an autograph? If you can. Sign this. So, have your people call my people and get the Cable Guide.
Don't miss a moment of great entertainment. Get the Cable Guide. Call 1-800-228-8624.
Call me.
Join TBS Sports for coverage of Golf Senior Slam from Los Cabos, San Lucas, Mexico, featuring golf legends Jack Nicklaus, Raymond Floyd, Hale Irwin, and Dave Stockton, no relation. Coverage begins February 24th at 7:05 p.m. on TBS. Right now, let's go to Craig.
Hall of Fame football crowd in the Logo Athletic box. With me, John Elway, a big basketball fan of the Denver Nuggets. Sad to see Mutombo in a Hawks uniform, I bet.
Yeah, we do. We miss him in Denver. We need him now, but he's doing great here in Atlanta and really helped them.
Great season this year for you guys. What do you expect next year?
Well, hopefully we can continue doing what we're doing. Hopefully we shouldn't lose too many people through free agency, but if we can have the same year we had that we had last year and do a little better in the playoffs, and it'll be better.
Thanks a lot. Enjoy the game. Let's go back to dinner.
All right, Craig, not as good as it should have been, but considering 13-3, but now the Bulls, as we get down to the crunch time of the game, Toni Kukoč lays it in. A big game for Kukoč. He has 21 points, and the lead is 6.
The Bulls have done an excellent job anytime they catch Mutombo on a small forward at the top of the circle. They just take him off the dribble.
Steve Smith out to Mutombo, playing a rare perimeter for him with 7 on the shot clock. And here's Jon Barry nailing a big three for the Atlanta Hawks. That's his second from downtown to account for his 6 points tonight.
He's a 35% shooter, and like we told you in that first half, Lenny wants him to continue shooting.
Hawks are over the limit. The Bulls still have 3 fouls to give, believe it or not. And there is Jordan finds Longley, and Longley on a deflection. And here come the Hawks. They have a 3-on-2. Mookie Blaylock open for 3. And Jordan will come and get that rebound.
At the other end to start and ignite that fast break, we have Mutombo with another outstanding defensive play.
Blaylock was looking to tie this game up at 85. And here's Jordan slicing down the middle. Smith and Pippen travels as he tried to get around Steve Smith. He's done a good defensive job tonight on whoever he's guarded.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job, but, you know, he's out on the perimeter. playing people for the dribble.
16 turnovers by the Bulls. They're a little more than their average during the year. Laettner with 9 on the clock, and a foul not in the act of shooting.
And that was smart by Longley. See, Longley just went right in and bumped Rodman off because he was going after Laettner. And you could see that as Laettner, just watch as Laettner makes his move here now. Rodman's playing with the forearm. See, now as he hit him, now you see he caught him on the left arm, no doubt about it. See, Longley, boom, smart. Get right in there before they're heated words.
4 fouls on Rodman, and the Bulls still have 2 to give. And now they have 1 to give as Rodman gets tangled up again, and that will be 5 on Dennis Rodman, who has fouled out only twice in the last 6 seasons.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. There are a lot of players in this league who think that he has 6 fouls usually in 6 minutes.
I know, that's perception is not reality when it comes to Dennis Rodman's fouling history.
There you go.
3 minutes exactly remaining in the 4th quarter. The Bulls by 3, 85-82.
You got to go at it.
And Laettner shooting over Dennis Rodman. Blaylock trying to fight amongst the big guys, and Longley gets the rebound.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised they didn't throw that out and post Laettner. Rodman's got 5. You don't throw a long, deep jump shot. You make them work. You make them work.
Longley on the outside, tipped away, out of bounds, and it is last touched by the Hawks. The Bulls have 8 seconds to attempt a shot. 2:36 remaining in the 4th. Chicago wants a time.
now he's saying, look at that. Now, don't look at me, but look at Laettner.
Bulls call a 20-second timeout, and they meet at midcourt. And our very alert cameramen go right out to midcourt to meet them, not to be deterred. Our guys are right out there in the middle of that huddle.
Right now, both teams have 3 timeouts left. You know that when the Bulls get to this time of the game, you know that Michael or Scottie Pippen are going to be involved big time.
I think so.
Yes, and at the other end of the floor, the main thing you have to remember, with both teams with 3, you know, the coaches have a lot of strategy left. 3 timeouts, that's like a lifetime.
And the Bulls have 1 foul to give. Each team shooting only 25% from the field this quarter. The defenses have been that tough. There is the timeout story. So here come the Bulls inbounding with 8 on the shot clock. Michael Jordan hits the jumper. Jordan, the game winner from three-pointer the other night against Charlotte, now with 28 points and a 5-point Bulls lead.
Well, when they run that split, you know, you have to look at it and say, you know, they probably should have switched that time.
Bulls looking to send a message after the Hawks beat the Bulls here at the Omni late in December by 5. Here is Laettner working against Kukoč, and Laettner hits the basket. He's got 21 points.
Now, if you notice on the release of that shot, that was Dennis Rodman who came into your screen going for the double team and the shot block.
Under 2 minutes to go. Remember, the Bulls still have a foul to give, but they've got the ball. Longley setting a screen, and on the pick and roll, Longley won't shoot over Mutombo. Pippen, though, with a turnaround, and Laettner gets the rebound. Hawks down by 3.
Remember, in this strategy now, Dick has told you Chicago has a foul to give.
And the crowd on its feet. Jon Barry guarded by Kukoč. With 7 on the shot clock, Barry going strong to the hoop, too far underneath. Kukoč stayed with him, and the Bulls come out with it. Bulls playing 2 close games after the All-Star break. One against Charlotte, again tonight against the Hawks. Kukoč missed the 3, and Barry is all alone, and it's a 1-point game with 1:11 remaining, 87-86 in favor of the Bulls.
Right now, with Lenny Wilkens with that small group, you know, you have Blaylock, you have Jon Barry, you have Steve Smith. Chicago has got to react quicker because they have 3 guards in there, and they're out on the break.
28 for Jordan, and he'll be a focal point. 10 on the shot clock, under a minute to go. And there is Jordan, and it's blocked. Mookie Blaylock got a hand on it, and a foul is called against Blaylock. Mookie called for the foul in 3-point territory, and Michael Jordan, I believe, will go to the line to shoot 3.
Yeah, Blaylock's upset. Lenny Wilkens upset. You know, he's already made his piece and his say to the refereeing. Mookie cannot believe that he got him now. You just can't tell there. Yeah, he got him. He got him right on the wrist.
Jordan is 1 for 2 from the free throw line, and he will have 3 attempts. Crowd not at all pleased, as you might expect from the highly partisan crowd here in Atlanta. Jordan misses the first free throw.
And the interesting thing is we all know that throughout his career, he was an 84% foul shooter before he retired. And now he's, this year, 85.
And the team tonight, under 500, under 50% shooting from the stripe. Jordan makes this one, and the Bulls lead by 2 with 52.5. So the most the Bulls can lead would be 3 if Jordan connects here. Remember, he had 3 attempts, missed the first, made the second, and now we're going to have a timeout called by the Atlanta Hawks. They've got 2 left, and Hubie and I will be back to the Omni after this.
Ronnie, you can see that. You can see 3 seconds.
In some places, full-time four-wheel drive isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. The LX 450. Everything a Lexus is, and everything a Lexus isn't.
Check this out, we back at GP's show. Look here, I'm back this year, new and improved.
Now, what makes it possible for Joe to earn such a good living?
They come from all over for the most agonizing test of endurance motorsports has to offer. The heavyweight championship of off-road racing, the legendary Baja 1000. Mile after mile of unforgiving terrain that can send even the toughest truck to an early grave, which means it can really be murder on a battery. That's why more drivers who tackle the Baja rely on the Duralast battery than any other. The same Duralast we stock at AutoZone. The Duralast battery, power you can depend on.
The Chicago Bulls trying to end the Hawks' 20-game winning streak at home, lead by 2. They still have that 1 foul to give that could loom large, Hubie, and 3 timeouts to 2 for the Hawks.
Absolutely. That's a good statement, Dick. And, you know, by games decided by 3 points or less, Chicago 5-1, Atlanta 4-1. So we have, you know, 2 excellent teams here in finishing off. 2 pretty good foul shooting teams, even though they're both not making them tonight. They usually make them. Now, this is critical right now with Michael, because you take it from a 2 to a 3-point game.
There you see what the Hawks have done at home in this winning streak of 20 games. 6 wins by 5 points or less. 3 have come in overtime. Jordan missed his first free throw. He was fouled in downtown territory, made his second, and following the timeout by Atlanta, now his 3rd attempt, and he makes 2 out of 3, and a 3-point lead for the Bulls, 89-86. Remember, the Bulls have a foul to give. Blaylock guarded by Jordan. 17 on the shot clock. You're looking at the game clock here in this 4th quarter.
And going down inside with Laettner on Rodman and Laettner.
Laettner going in and is fouled by Rodman, and that will be Rodman's 6th foul. So a guy who's fouled out just 2 times in the last 6 years has fouled out of this game, scoring 2 points and getting 11 rebounds.
Now, this is very critical, and that's why we said earlier we were kind of surprised that they didn't go at him 2 minutes ago, you know, when this all happened, when he picked up number 5. You've always got to challenge guys like him, mainly because he gets away with defensive punishment, and then also he's such a great offensive rebounder.
Toni Kukoč will come in the game, so Kukoč, Kerr, along with Pippen, Longley, and Jordan, Smith, Blaylock, Laettner, Jon Barry, and Mutombo, and now they're saying that it was side out. It was not in the act of shooting, so the Bulls have used up their last foul. All shooting from here on in.
All right, in the last 36 seconds, remember, Chicago has 3 timeouts, Atlanta 2.
3-point lead, though, for the Bulls.
Nice.
Here is Steve Smith fouled by Pippen. and he'll shoot a pair. That was a hard foul and a good foul because Pippen did not want Smith to get the basket as well as the foul.
This is just a beautiful cut by Smith. Look how open he is. And it's Scottie is going for the block. You always go for the block because you never know when you're going to get away with the contact.
Steve Smith is 3 of 4 from the stripe tonight. And, of course, Pippen had to make sure there'd be no layup.
Well, Steve Smith, one of the better foul shooters for the Hawks, 82%. Throughout his career, 82% this season.
Jason Caffey comes in for Kukoč, who goes out. Steve Smith with 20 points in the game will try to bring the Hawks to within 1 with 31.4 remaining here in the fourth.
Well, they want a rebounder.
And it's a 1-point game. 21 points for Steve Smith. And the Bulls want a timeout. So both the Bulls and the Hawks will have 2 full timeouts remaining when we return to the excited and sold-out Omni.
Watch Monster Vision with Joe Bob Briggs tonight after the NBA on TNT.
So, where do you want this? Hey now, I ordered a new copier. This is better than new, my friend. Allow me to demonstrate. Oh, what do we have here? Wow. Enlarges, too. Even collates. I'll take it.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
That was close. I didn't think I could shove this baby through.
It's just out of reach. It's always been just out of reach. Luxury. Creature comforts. But now, there's the all-new ES300. With front-wheel drive. And traction control available in forward and reverse at a price that's highly accessible to the average bear. Team Lexus Rossignol. The mountain is calling. Answer it.
How about something hot? Just look for the dot. Choose from 3 delicious crusts. There's classic hand-tossed, crunchy, thin crust, thick, ultimate deep dish. Wow. Whatever you wish. So tell us how and pick one now. Call now and you can enjoy a delicious Domino's pizza during the game. And why not add on some of Domino's spicy buffalo wings, our steaming hot breadsticks.
Bulls lead 89-88. Want to remind you, coming up next on Inside the NBA, Ernie Johnson, Cheryl Miller will have all the scores and highlights. And a look at the Hawks' Alan Henderson. Cheryl visits the Super Show. Well, what do we see here now with 31-4 remaining?
Well, first of all, it's clock management. That's the biggest thing. You're going to your people that you feel are your best 2-man guys. And then when the double team comes, make sure that you have good spacing. From the Chicago Bulls standpoint, they know that they do not want the foul. I mean, the Hawks, they do not want the foul. And the other big factor is that the Hawks have got to say 1 shot attempt. 1 shot attempt.
And there's pressure by the Hawks. They haven't shown it much, but they beat the trap with Kukoč. And we'll set it up now with 16 on the shot clock. That's on the left corner of your screen.
They'll melt this down.
Smith is on Jordan. It's a 1-point game. The Bulls lead. Jordan working against Smith. And Jordan gets by Smith. Short with the jumper. And Smith gets the rebound. And a timeout called by Atlanta. And they'll have a chance to win it with 8.1 seconds. And Michael Jordan is angry at Bob Delaney.
Yeah, well, he thought he got hit. The ball was definitely way short on the release. But if it happened, it could possibly have happened in the lower body. Now, see, now he's really hot because he wanted to call.
Say one thing, Hubie. The Bulls circle this on their calendar because they knew that the Hawks had beaten them. They wanted to make a statement tonight, and the Hawks have stayed with them all the way.
Now, just keep an eye on this. Now, you see Smith hand-checked him there. Hand-checked him again. Now, as he comes in here, he just leads. See the push? That's what Michael wanted. He wanted to push on the hip.
And it could have gone that way. Could have gone either way.
Now, you see, when he elevated, he was right up in there.
Hawks with only 1 timeout remaining, and Michael Jordan still upset over the non-call. Jordan has
now right
30.
now just keep an eye on this. See, now as he goes by Smith, as he elevates, watch the arm come right in. There it is, right there on the hip. You can see the push right there. That's what he's yelling about. That's why he thought, but he still left that one short. Now, the Hawks. You're going at the other end of the floor. Atlanta has one timeout left. That's very important for the inbound passer. Main thing here is that you make a good pass, and now you run something quick because you want to allow yourself an opportunity to get an offensive rebound, second shot, in case you miss.
Go ahead, you.
From Chicago's standpoint, naturally you want all of your guys body checking people out on the shot release, hold them to one shot, and then let's just hope for the best. The big thing is do not foul a jump shooter.
Atlanta Hawks, who are looking to finish third in the conference. Right now they're 2.5 behind Detroit because the idea for them is to avoid the Chicago Bulls in the second round if they can. They played very well against the Chicago Bulls the last 2 meetings against this team.
Now I'm going to give you stats. Does this have anything to do with this game right now? 9-0 Chicago on Friday nights.
You've been going into the Chronicles. There you see where Atlanta right now, coming into tonight. Detroit has won tonight. If you finish fourth, you have a chance to play the Bulls in the second round. If you finish fifth, you have a chance to face the Bulls in the second round. But if you're third, the second place team in the playoffs will be from the Atlantic Division. So the Hawks getting ready now. Inbounding will be Newbill.
All right. Right now, Chicago not playing the man out of bounds. Corbin is taking the ball out. They are going to use a midfielder. Now they call delay a game. They take the ball. They'll call it because they wanted to look at the alignment. Now, the next thing that you've got to realize is that from Atlanta's standpoint right now, you do not know whether they will put a man on the ball. I would be surprised if Chicago came out and did not play the passer out of bounds. Put the pressure on him and force him to make a good pass. Now that time that was excellent by Chicago. They saw the alignment and now they go for their timeout to talk strategy.
Each team has one timeout remaining. No fouls to give. Here is Michael Jordan.
Well, Michael's very upset.
Not complimentary of the officiating on that instance. So the Hawks in a position to win the game, and the Chicago Bulls in a position defensively, which is where they got their reputation made, to hold on to their 1-point lead. There's the timeout score.
The main thing that you have to understand is that when that ball gets inbounds, this has got to be quick action because you would like to get the shot and a second shot attempt. Now let's look. Right now they are bringing a defender out halfway. Now they're bringing in Jud Buechler.
And Henry James has come in the game. Another three-point shooter is in there for the Hawks, and Buechler is guarding him.
Right.
Corbin will be guarded by Pippen. They did not show Pippen the last time, and now they have it to Smith as the clock winds down. 1-point lead for the Bulls. Smith picked up by Kukoč on the outside, and it's Laettner with a long shot, short, and the Bulls win by 1. And Michael Jordan is still upset over the non-call, but the Chicago Bulls have edged out the Atlanta Hawks 89-88. 30 points for Michael Jordan, and Christian Laettner, who once was a hero in the NCAA tournament with a shot against Kentucky, came up short on this last play.
Well, you can see they wanted to run a screen and roll to the left side right here with Laettner. As they came off, you can see they step out. Now there's a switch. Now once they get the trap, Laettner spots up. See, that was beautiful spacing. When you allow it to go to the last shot, no chance for a follow-up.
And Toni Kukoč scored 21, was the second leading scorer behind Michael Jordan's 30, and Toni is with Craig Sager.
Well, you're right, Dickey. Yeah, the 21, but you're also the key defenseman on that last play. From your standpoint, what were the Bulls trying to do defensively?
They came out with 5 shooters, so they can score the 3-point shot. They can go in with the Laettner. And the only thing we had to play solid one-on-one defense at first. And we switched on that one. We did good and won again.
far as starting the game tonight, I know you like to start. The fact that you did win, is that the role you're going to keep going, or is it just the matchup problem right here with the Hawks?
No, it was a thing that coach Phil thought it's going to be better if it started this way, and I didn't do a very good job in the first half, but I think we can thank Richard in the second half, and it paid off. I'm glad we won again.
The Bulls have not lost a payback game since Michael's return. How important was this game? What were you guys thinking going in?
It was very important for us. We came in here with the idea to win a game. We know it's going to be hard, but we made it.
Great game. Let's go back to Dick and Hubie.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. And tonight's Bud player of the game is Michael Jordan. Not that delighted when he walked off the court, but 30 points on 13 for 28 shooting, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. He's our Bud player of the game as the Chicago Bulls have ended the Atlanta Hawks' 20-game home winning streak tonight by 1 point, 89-88. We'll be right back.